You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for Ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
And welcome to episode 191 of Nerd Rage Radio with your host, Adam Russman and Bobby Skullface.
All right.
Just us here today.
Just us?
Just us two. And our very special guest for the first time ever podcasting ever. So don't be nervous. Be nervous.
I've streamed before, so...
Mr. Aaron Russman.
Yes.
My long-lost brother.
How's
we
it
found
going?
him.
What's up, Aaron?
It's hanging and banging, man.
Yeah. Dude, you're all cheeks now, aren't you?
I mean, all this.
Yeah.
Dude, God. I told Adam, I was like, we need to get a gym membership. And he's like, well, I'll get one on my face. I was like, okay, we'll get one with a skinny face. Because I'll go down there. I'm like, this is what I was. Like, I've gained so much freaking weight. Get my fat ass on the treadmill.
How are you, though? How's your health?
Pretty good. I mean, other than this, I
Right.
just need to work out. But I
That's
think
all right.
that goes with everyone, I think.
Yeah, for sure. They say diet's like 60, 80%, some shit. So
Diet and exercise, I mean, that's a cure for everything, I'm telling you.
yeah.
Cure for the blues. Cure for the gout.
Except for body odor. It's actually not
Oh,
a cure
yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Lose a bunch of weight, you start stinking a little bit more.
No, I'm saying exercise is not a cure for body odor. It makes it worse.
But diet could be, right?
Diet could be, yeah.
As long as you're not eating stinky food.
Yeah, but like if you like,
You ever
sweat
hang
your
out with
ass
somebody-
off
you
and you
ever
come
hang-
in, I'm like, oh, you smell like fucking onions.
You ever hang out with somebody who eats crazy food and they stink, and you wonder if it's like, hey man,
Well,
why do you get that face? What was that face? Is
I
it me?
definitely
Am I the stinky kid?
no,
Am I the stinky Spider-Man?
Am I the racist Spider-Man? I definitely think that there's cultures that carry an odor that probably has to do with their diet.
Yeah. You know, I had a buddy who was special mops, but when they went in country, before they of course they go and get climatized and everything. But another thing they did is they ate nothing but the local food for a number of weeks, so they would smell like the locals.
Your body has to break down all that stuff, and a lot of it comes out of your sweat. So I know that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So if you're into fancy cheese, it might be problematic.
Dude, I like some fancy cheese.
Dude, what about that cheese guy? Do you remember that cheese guy?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
From Outback.
Outback? Yeah.
He either hated cheese or he hated saying cheese.
He had a very specific form of Tourette's, Aaron, that when he said cheese, he'd lift his shoulders up and he'd be like, cheese. Just like that every time. Like, so can I get you guys bloomin' onion or some cheese fries?
Yeah, like
Like every time.
Have you seen that meme where the Asian girl's trying to say fuck? She's like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like she can't say it. She just couldn't pronounce it.
well, it was funny until we learned out that cheese actually killed his parents.
But like, we would order shit with cheese on it just to get him to say it.
Yeah,
You know, like
So what?
American cheese.
very high cholesterol.
We gained like 80 pounds each
High
during
cheese,
that time period.
high cheese diet. It was a fad in the 70s.
Fondue.
It was.
Fondue and herpes.
So it's still fed now.
I have brother news as well, man. So,
Do
like,
you?
oh, dude, I have so much to get into.
Do you just
this
want to
week.
start off on the Nerd Week?
No, Aaron, how's your nerd life?
So what we do, we start the show. The show's broken up into
Not as
different
good as
parts,
yours.
right? So we start off like, what's your Nerd Week, which would be like any nerdy things you're reading, games you're playing.
Battlefront 2
there you
patch
go.
came out today.
Yeah.
Darth Maul can block now.
And I had to pry his ass from the TV because like he agreed to do this yesterday, and then I called him today. He was on that shit like, dude, I just got a patch for my video game. I have to stay.
came out. I can't come. Sorry, guys.
I'm like, dude, you own this game. You can play it at any time. We can go back
No, I
home and
can't.
play it in 2 hours.
But
That's
there's
so true.
They say there's no time like the present.
Well, because you know why everyone posts videos, and then you kind of want to learn how to play them yourself, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the game. So it's like a whole new game every time they do this.
Do you want to plug your YouTube channel because you'll get like
No,
you
because
get
I
like
don't have-
15 you'll get like 15 subscribers.
No, because I upload videos just to watch myself play to get better. That's how nerdy I am towards that game. If you want to talk about nerd life, so
Yeah, man, but get 15 more people and get
if
paid
you look
for
up
it.
Unicron swag, UNICRON.
Is that really it?
Unicron, like the Transformer?
Yeah,
and then
these
swag,
people are aware.
SWA. Okay. Well, I'm just making sure because everyone's like, "Hey, Unicorn, can I get on your team? Hey, Unicorn, can you guys want to play? You want to catch a game with us, Unicorn? And I'm like, no, it's Unifucking-cron, man.
You can cuss here; it's fine.
I know, but I'm trying not to cuss while I'm at your place too. So
Yeah, nobody can get that
kids.
done. I know. It's
for children's.
do you remember adults cussing in front of you very often?
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, your mom.
Probably him, yeah.
Wait, my mom cursed like my mom taught me to cuss and then would call her friends and then have me cuss them out and then
Yeah.
and then be like that boy curses like a sailor, doesn't he? Like she would say that. and then my dad was a fireman and
Yeah,
he
that's
hung
true.
out with
That's
fire
true.
department buddies and they would just be in my fucking kitchen smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and like talking crazy shit. I told you that one dude made me put my finger in his belly button. Ever tell you that story?
Yes.
Do you have
Dude,
anything else to tell us?
This dude Gerald, man, he was super fat. like he was like as big as this table.
What if they
like
gave you one of your fetishes?
he was like one of those old school like just humongous like 600
Just
pound
meatball subs.
Yeah, and like and I was just as a young lad, I was just sitting there looking at his belly like, and he was like, hey boy, and I was like, yes sir. He said, the fuck you looking at? No, nothing. And he was like, you want to look at it? You can touch it. And he like lifted his shirt up and he's like, come over here and touch it. And I was like, I don't want to touch it. I don't. And he was like, no, you want to look at it? Now you got to touch it. And he was like, come over.
Are
here.
you sure this was his belly?
He was like, come over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Are you sure you're not screening this memory?
There was no mistaking. It was easily the most identifiable part of his person.
It was a dark hole, and you had to put your finger in it. That's all you remember.
Your brain is made up the story to protect yourself.
So I looked up to my father, like, Daddy, please. and he was like, you heard the man. And I went over and I like tried to touch like just the pudgy part.
Yeah.
And he like shifted real quick and like my finger went right in his belly button and he was like, ooh. And yeah, I didn't smell it.
But you wanted to.
If I was now, I would have to. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'd be like, oh, gross. Oh, gross. Oh, gross.
But I kind of dig it.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross. Oh, gross.
Till it wears off.
Oh, it tastes disgusting too.
And you get your thumb on that index finger, just start rolling with what's on.
Yeah, continue with the nerd week there.
So that was basically it. I mean, what did I brought a bunch of boxes over. We had
Dude,
some old
yeah.
comic books,
Yeah.
magic cards. Man,
I didn't see the magic cards though.
That's in the other box. Man.
Oh, okay.
A whole bunch of.
So Aaron has reduced his life to 3 plastic tubs.
I've been doing that. I've been giving my stuff away or just
Dude, you should
destroying
join some of these Facebook groups so you fit right in.
Well, I brought all these toys. And I was like, yeah, if you don't want these, Bobby can have them. But you have the rain cord.
Yeah, it's a whole Unleashed line.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I bought
Is
them
it
all
really?
for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want some of those.
Which
Yeah,
one?
you can have them all.
I want. I got to see what you got. I want Slave Leia like super
No, I
bad.
don't have
Oh, no,
that
that
one.
one.
I got like Dooku.
He's got everything.
got
He's got everything you got. Because I bought
Okay.
all of the ones for him, and I think I helped you or bought or whatever.
We were buying them together
Yeah,
during
yeah.
that time.
But it's like, hey man, do you want this one? Yeah, I'll get.
But
pick
you
it
had
up.
like crazy luck. Every time we stumbled across one like that was hard to get, you would find the good deal. Like the mall, I never got the mall for a decent deal.
He's got them all.
I have them all, but
it's
am
broken.
I missing like lightsaber?
You're
ends or
missing all
something?
your lightsabers.
I got them all. I don't have the base though.
Oh, he's got the
Oh,
base.
I might have the base. So you can
Because I'm actually using a second Emperor's base. Because you gave me your maul when you like sold all this shit,
Yeah.
but you ended up giving me like your maul, 2 random red sabers that don't really fit, but I'll just hot glue them in.
Yeah.
And then
the
and the Emperor's base.
Well, he's got the other mall base if you
Cool.
want, because your
Yeah,
mall is
okay.
broken.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Tell
I
me
don't
tell me
think
about
there's-
Tell me about Battlefront, because we don't really talk video games here anymore.
Well, Battlefront 2 got a horrible it didn't really get a bad review, but when it came out, it just got horrible press because EA owns it, and EA just has all the loot boxes
the purchases
and everything.
and
And I can't say enough, and people are probably going to hate me for this. It's an epic game. It's the
I love it.
best multiplayer game I've ever played in my life, just in general. Like how the game progresses from each area to the next. It's not just craziness running around, and each phase has a certain amount of heroes, and
Is there any story mode though? To it?
yeah, I've only played the campaign.
there is a story mode with Iden Versio, and she's the chick.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like the Death Trooper.
but it's
or
fucking
whatever.
fun, man.
Yeah, it was cool. But I played it for the multiplayer. I played I finished your first campaign. I played probably a quarter through the second campaign, but I have to say I played for the multiplayer and it's awesome. I mean, it's a great game, but it's getting kind of old now. There's other stuff out, and I don't know if anyone will start to get into it again because it's just 2 years old now. So
yeah, I mean the next one,
keep-
like the next Star Wars game, is
1,000
getting
years
ready to
old
come out.
in fucking video game
That's what I'm
land
saying.
nowadays.
Well, they keep adding new stuff. They added this capital supremacy, where basically you start off on the ground and do a couple little objectives, and then you go up on the ship. So you're like on like the separatist ship, and you have to go shut down their engines or something. So they added another one to Kashyyyk today. That was part of the patch, but I didn't get to play it because I'm here. Because Adam wanted me to be here. But no, but there's a couple of things. That's really it. Like,
Did they ever update like Morrowind and Oblivion to PS4?
you can play the PlayStation 4 where you can basically stream the game. So you can play Oblivion. I don't think you can play Morrowind, but you can still buy Morrowind for PC and play it. And then they actually have a Skyrim. Everyone knows what Skyrim is, I'm sure. And then they remade the Oblivion game in the Skyrim engine. But I think you can download parts of that.
That's when you're on your elbows and your knees.
That's right.
It's up in the
Yeah,
sky.
that's right.
Wait, what?
That would be fucking badass now because I would assume nowadays we have the computing power to make a game that big where you have both of those worlds in the same game.
Yeah, the new there's a new Dead Matter game coming out. That's like a zombie survival, and that's going to be like I don't know 6 times as big as Grand Theft Auto 5. And Grand Theft Auto 5 is pretty big. Just if you walk from like one end to the next, it takes a long time to walk. Obviously, you can get a plane or a car or whatever,
right.
so it doesn't seem that big. But these games where you're walking around,
I would like
Fallout,
any listeners out there that can email us with that. I'd like to know some facts about like the most realistic like city like Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game
Yeah, see, I haven't played.
is
that.
New York
Game.
scale.
I have it in cellophane.
Yeah, I mean it's a great game.
It's mint in sealed box.
Someone write about it, not you. But we found an X-Force #1 still in the baggie, like the sealed baggie with the collector's card.
yeah.
Can't see a fucking ankle on that thing.
Dude, you didn't try to get $3 for it?
I don't think I have all these baseball cards. I have all these comics. I mean, they're not worth anything.
I think
anymore.
X-Force 2 is actually worth a lot.
Is it Deadpool?
Yeah.
Probably. We don't have that one.
Yeah.
Actually, I might have it.
Yeah,
I might have
you
it.
might.
Yeah.
A lot of those random books ended up being worth a lot because they ended up being like cult classics or ended up being fucking movie stars.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what's a lot? That like I don't even like how much is a
Like hundreds of dollars for the most part.
okay like $200. Okay, I don't know. It's not that much money. I'm just saying everything goes down in price. Like all those baseball cards, you look at them now. They're like, oh, it was $100 in 1995. Now it's $3 because no
Yeah.
one gives a crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that O.J. Simpson rookie card has never held its value.
And I have a
should've
Pete Rose card. Anyone wants to buy that?
It held its value, but it's only in a black glove.
Oh man.
You could say the value was priceless, actually.
Anything else from your nerd week?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, that's it.
Anything you're looking forward to here in the near future?
Well, the Avengers movie's coming out. That's it. I
One
mean,
day
what else?
more,
Yeah, tomorrow.
another day, another destiny. Can't wait, bro.
Yeah.
5:00. I'd buy you a ticket if I knew you were going to be here.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's what Manuel said too. Because I guess they're all sold out. I don't care though. I'll just
My hype is way down for it.
The project.
I don't
guess
get
what the
hyped about
projection
anything
is
anymore.
for the first weekend?
What's that?
Sales
500 million.
That was going to be my guess.
850 to 900 million.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh wait, internationally or domestic?
That just the
Total
weekend
world.
sales.
Total.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I
They
probably would've
they
said a
think
million.
that it'll make its first billion before the midweek.
No,
Wow.
I believe that. Yeah, international now.
So, and the interesting thing about it is that because it's such a long screen time, it's being played less
Oh yeah.
because
Right, because it can't show as many.
yeah, so it shouldn't
Unless
do
it's
better.
playing in twice the theaters.
So that's what they're doing. So they're having more theaters dedicated to it and more times. That's why it's so we got tickets for a 5:00 showing. The reason is because is the time.
And what is it competing against?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's another.
Fucking Shazam.
Someone probably.
Yeah, I mean that's another bonus it has
Yeah,
going for it.
yeah.
It's like-
I don't think any.
No one wants to release a
you'd
movie
be a
around
fucking moron to release anything with this movie.
I
You know, everybody and the early.
But there's some movies that come out that like aren't trying to compete with something like that
Yeah, like
end
a
up
cartoon or something.
like Titanic, like shit like that. Like just
Yeah,
ends up
yeah,
being
yeah.
this ridiculous smash. That,
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know James Cameron. I mean, anything he does is fucking.
But you know,
smash.
like just shit like that.
No,
Just-
I hear you.
yeah.
I hear you. I don't know, man. I think it's gonna. I think it's going to be interesting to see if the replay value of people going multiple times. Because I think I saw Infinity War twice in the
I
theaters.
saw it twice, and honestly, only because I felt like Laura needed to see it in the theater. Like I would have only saw it once.
Yeah. So I we'll see what happens with a 3-hour movie.
Well, my work people want me to go see it with them.
That's what happened to me.
So like I might end up doing that, but like it depends. Dude, I tell you, like my hype for this movie is not
Why do you think that is?
Star Wars. I know.
Oh,
it is.
really?
What do you mean? What do you mean Star Wars?
Like the 9 trailer, it kills everything for me.
Oh, I try not to watch trailers for anything except probably Marvel movies and Star Wars. Like I can't, because I don't want to know anything about it, even games and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
Joe is in the same boat.
As little as I can see, the better. I mean, for sure. But
Oh, actually, I guess we should introduce you to what else you're into, type of thing. Like what other genres you like.
I don't really like anything. I like Star Wars, Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, but I hate Discovery. I mean, I'm like a.
Oh, dude, listen.
I'm like a
the
stub toe. Like,
name
I
of this
don't like any of the
podcast
new
is
stuff.
Nerd Rage Radio. So
Oh,
feel
God,
free
I
to be
fucking hate
hateful.
Star Wars Discovery. There's no continuity with the show. They all the techno babble that used to be interesting back in the day. Now they just sum it up to a couple words now with some stuff like.
I actually used a Time Crystal meme the other day.
God, I hate that so much. Just like every actor nowadays, this includes with Star Wars. They think in order for them to like be acting, they're just breathing. Can you believe that? Oh, we got the shields are hit. Oh God! It's like were you just running? Like what was happening? Like if you were just running, that would be fine. But like everyone, that's just breathing, and it all started with fucking Kristen Stewart with fucking what's that?
Twilight.
Twilight. I can't stand it.
You think that she affected actors? I'm gonna have to
She
disagree with you that one.
No, she affected actors in a bad way. Like every actor like tries to do that breathing thing. I swear it was just with her. Like that's just my memory. Like I just remember seeing her acting, and she's just breathing like that all the time. Like,
have you tried it with labor breathing?
Yeah, that's exactly. Like someone maybe someone to her defense, maybe someone was like, hey, just try breathing more. That'll look good, and then just people started copying it. I just hate it. I just think it's so stupid. It's garbage. Discovery's garbage. Don't watch it.
Bobby? Oh, should I go next? Because you had crazy next week.
It wasn't crazy. It's just the things that happened are crazy.
So, went to Busch Gardens with the kids, a little family vacay for Easter, and we watched Aquaman, which it still held. It held up watching it again, and sometimes like
I'm like scared to watch it again.
I know. So was I.
Okay.
So was I.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, this is really good, man. I wasn't just fucking high on my own farts that day. This is a good movie. And like some of the little, the only part at the very end when he jumps slow motion into the sunset or whatnot is a little bit much. But I
haven't seen it yet.
You earned that. Well, I'm not gonna ruin it for you. But it's good. It's good.
Just think about how fish do in the sun. It's not great.
Stinky, huh? Smelly. It's so smelly.
And then I watched Glass. First off, I'd like to thank our listener actually hit me up on Instagram. It's like, hey man, I got a free download for this movie if you want to watch it.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to put his name out there.
Well, he hit me up with it, and I was like, dude, I don't even know how to use that.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, me neither. That's why I'm trying to give it away.
So within 2 minutes, I was watching Glass because it's pretty easy to figure out. It's that picture of the app you can get right there.
I'm like typing it into the. I'm like volume up, channel up. I don't see any letters on this thing.
I fucking hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking it.
What's the premise of it? Just
All right, so you have Unbreakable. So the premise of Unbreakable, Bruce Willis is in it. It came out like 19 years ago, and basically
everyone dies on a train or something.
everybody dies on a
Except
train
one dude.
except he doesn't get scratched.
Okay.
So he was knocked out. They find him. There's not a scratch on him. Like he's short on the train, and you find out that he's unbreakable. Like his skin, he can't. Like, and it was always kind of soft. You never really, nothing ever really. Nobody shot him with a gun or tried to stab him or anything. But like, there's a scene where he's bench pressing, and no matter how much weight he puts on there, he bench presses like the whole rack, and like,
Okay.
and it was kind of a cult classic. It was, I think, it was kind of the pinnacle of what M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong was doing,
And
coming off of Sixth Sense.
It had
stuff.
It had a slow burn.
It did.
Because like people were expecting because he was coming off Sixth Sense.
Yes.
The trailer for Unbreakable had like a 9 Inch Nails record in the trailer,
Yeah.
and like it just showed like little quick segments. It looked like it was going to be another horror movie.
Yep.
And then people went to see it, and they were like, "That's not a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is dumb." And then, but then over time, they were like, "Oh no, it's the marketing that was dumb. This movie's good."
Yeah, and it became one of those things where like I love that movie, and then like 2 years ago, the movie Split came out with James McAvoy, and basically he's like
Professor X.
He's got 34 different personality, and one of them is the Beast, like this like pinnacle of
Blue
human.
I saw
hair.
that.
No, not that Beast. But like he gets all veiny and vascular and shit. He like crawl
Like
up
my
walls and
dick.
shit.
Yeah.
And that one wasn't bad. And that the Easter egg twist in the very end of it is you find out that's in the same universe as Unbreakable. Like they're there's like, oh, Bruce Willis at the end of it, oh, super cool. And then this last one, Glass, and Glass was of course Samuel L. Jackson's character. The kids, they call me Mr. Glass because like he was so fragile, like he'd break all the time. And his whole idea was if there's somebody, if my bones.
Balance.
If my bones, like you just do this, he'd break a bone. There has to be somebody out there whose bones didn't break, right? That was unbreakable. Dude, they just totally shitted on the whole franchise. They fucking ruined it for me.
Really?
And I would suggest anybody out there who's
How did you feel about Split?
Split was cool.
Okay,
but it wasn't the best.
No, that's how I felt. That's how I felt.
It was cool.
Okay.
But this, all right. Let me. I'm trying to find something that's equivalent to it, and I don't know. Imagine if you went and saw Spider-Man 2, and then you watched Spider-Man the 1977 made for CBS TV show.
Okay.
That's how I kind of felt about it, you know? And it was like, of course it's M. Night Shyamalan, so whatever his name is, there's going to be a twist, but like, I don't think it was that surprising. Like the twist wasn't surprising, like how they executed it. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? This is fucking. It was stupid. It was fucking stupid. I hate it. It was like I wish I never seen it.
It was stupid.
I wish I never seen it.
It was fucking stupid.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of ruined those other films for me. And now like I have no interest in ever watching Unbreakable again. I have no interest in ever watching Split again.
It sucks.
And I wish.
To be fair, I had no interest in ever watching Split again either. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But I'd like Unbreakable.
Sure, for sure.
You know, but it's like, nah, this is without consequence. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's a bummer.
So, like, I almost feel like if Endgame started, and it was just like Thanos sitting on the beach and like he turns to the camera, he's like, everybody's dead. Roll credits. You know, that's how I like. What this is it. This is what we waited for. All this fucking 20 years of build up for this fucking franchise. Fuck you, man. So there was that. And then really haven't had much more time to do anything nerd related. I watched Aaron play some Battlefront, and I've realized that the video games have passed me by.
Yeah.
I like if it's 8-bit or I can play on my phone.
Dude,
or as a
I
Batman
hate
game.
phone games.
I hate them too.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
I don't have any either.
Oh no, wait, I do have one. It's a little bouncy ball.
Double bubble.
He's playing Snake on his old Nokia.
What is it? It's like a puzzle game, so it's not like a
I
game.
think I have Sudoku.
Like puzzle games are the only type of games that I'm interested in playing on a phone because like I don't want to do this. And
I tried to download Baldur's Gate 2, but it just doesn't friggin' work on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy if Rocksteady does a Superman game or another Batman game, I'm in. If you ever bring Red Dead Redemption 2,
I do, yeah.
I might throw down with that because I really like that game. But like, I can't play that
Rocksteady
game.
just comes out of nowhere with a Plastic Man game instead.
Dude, it'd probably be fucking
Yeah,
badass.
awesome.
It'd be badass, man.
What's the last game that you played? Like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So you did play Spider-Man. That's recent.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's not like you're not done with games. You just don't like multiplayer games because you're not good at them unless you play them for a long time.
But like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give.
Well, you like painting
5
more. I mean, that's just,
yeah. But like
there's other
the
things
thing
you
about
gotta do.
Spider-Man is I like You know what it is? I like simulator games, right?
Yeah.
If I like driving games, like to drive around a track or whatever. I like Batman's. Dark Knight. What is that? What is the last?
You like
Arkham City?
player,
Not
kind
Arkham,
of like
Arkham
open
Knight.
world.
Arkham Knight is a Batman simulator.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. Spider-Man is a Spider-Man simulator. You know,
Well,
like
that's what's Battlefront. You play as Luke. You play
yeah,
as
but like
Ray.
if I could run around and like not play with other people and be Luke,
Yeah.
I'd
You
be
can.
down.
You can.
I don't think you could.
Yeah, and then the campaign.
In the
you start off
campaign.
as Luke, I think, in the first
Oh,
level.
okay.
You play Luke. You play as Kylo Ren. But I mean, they could do more single player stuff like that. I don't know.
I
why
wish they
don't.
would.
But
Yeah.
are
Well,
they-
Fallout,
Are you
Jedi
all
Fallen Order's
juiced
coming
out, or,
Yeah,
or do you
Fallen
have to
Order
like
was
build
great.
it up?
you're juiced out when you like play as Luke or Kylo Ren or something. But it's like one level here or there. You like play as Han, you play as Leia, but you mostly are Iden Versio. But I mean, I get what you're saying. You like single player games because when you're single player, you're special and you get the AI
I am
is
special.
Well, you know
goddammit.
what? No, I mean in all seriousness, the AI is dumbed down. It's not that competitive. And I don't mean that in a way. I'm saying like it's better. Playing Skyrim's awesome because you're the most powerful character in the universe. You know what I mean? And when you're playing Spider-Man, you're Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. I mean,
you're like, what if it was random? You're like, fuck, I'm playing Spider-Man as George. Fucking George that works in the mail delivery.
Your Uncle Ben. You're like, how is this going to turn out?
Yeah, and also I just don't want to be playing with
Ben is
some
my cousin.
some 15-year-old kid that's talking shit.
Well, they don't.
That's a
So there's
12-year-old.
when you have big game, Apex Legends is like that and I play that too, where you can actually talk to your squad. But yeah, in Battlefront there's 40 people, so you can't hear anyone.
Oh, good.
So which is kind of nice.
I know. I heard somebody talking when you were playing the other day.
No. That's just they talk to each other. The characters talk to each other. Like no one's
Oh,
on the mic.
Okay.
Like if I start a party and I'm talking, which I haven't done for a little while, you can. But now I get you.
I was over a neighbor's house during a Christmas party, and they were playing Fortnite.
That's a big deal, or it was. I think
Yeah,
it's on
and
its way
like
out.
in
It's
dude,
on its way out.
this is like a friend of my wife, and her husband's got like this the most high def monitor I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like U shaped, and it's like it's really wide.
4K ultra wide.
Yeah, it's really wide, but it's like this, but it kind of wraps up like that. Like, god damn, it's
Like
like all
almost
these
immersive.
fucking it's got all these controllers, but like some like little fucking kid is playing on this shit. And I'm like, dude, if I had a fucking monitor like that, nobody would fucking be able to look at it, fucking touch it. And they're playing Fortnite and they're building a bunch of stupid walls, and I just hear kids on there like calling each other and like,
What's your favorite gun?
But no,
What's your favorite skin?
They're like calling each other the
Shut the
N word
fuck
and
up.
shit.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's crazy.
kids are out of control.
Yeah. I was like, what? No, get out of here. Get out. Don't touch that. He said, I don't fucking care. I'm saying you can't. Get out of here.
That's why you got to block people. If you're playing those kind of games, you just literally go and block them, mute them or whatever.
Yeah. So that was my nerd week. I'll probably jump in if I had anything else. Waiting for fucking Lucifer. May 5th. It's released on Netflix. Every episode. This would be interesting, man. to see
Every
it.
baddie they make it a British person. That's I can't say.
Oh, this is the best. I mean, dude, if you hear Lucifer talk, he's gonna have a fucking swag ass British accent, right?
I know,
Dude, it depends, man, because I don't like a swaggy Lucifer.
Yeah, I don't either.
I like the one from Passion. There's like a little androgynous monster.
Yeah, but but the one from Constantine is badass
I
too.
want like a
The white
turtle
suit.
monkey.
Yeah, but even he has a little bit of
The monster. Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
there's some swag there too.
there is some swag there, but he dabbles in both realms. Usually it's
Yes.
either swag or monster.
Yes.
And he's one of the ones that walks the balance between the two.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else I'd put in there. Like Robert De Niro was definitely swag.
Viggo
Al
Mor-
Pacino was definitely swag. Vigo was definitely swag.
Yeah. Vigo was good.
But I don't care for the swaggy ones. I like the monster ones.
Well, talk about swag.
I mean, but he was
No,
you know-
he had monstrous lines, but he wasn't like the guy in Constantine had like the shit coming up from his
Yeah, the
collar.
veins
Like
and
he's
his
not
feet- his
he's
feet were
not-
covered in tar.
He's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
need a little
He had
bit
like
of that.
twitches and like
Yeah.
just. But
Yeah,
anyways, let
that
me just say
actor's
one
badass.
thing. Like as Americans, we automatically give British people like 20 IQ points just because they talk like
That's
that.
a
I don't
fact.
agree with that.
That's a
I just
fact.
don't like that.
Can't help it.
I agree with it.
I don't like that at all.
Can't help it.
Like okay,
Can't help it.
he sounds better than me when he comes to America. I just don't like that. I mean,
When we get invaded by aliens, I'm going to send a British person as our world
Absolutely.
leader.
Absolutely. I mean, who else are you going to send? You got to send somebody.
I
to
like the
aliens.
Australian accent better. Just
You seen
for
Sir
talking about
Ian?
accents.
I actually like.
Or Patrick. You send Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
You send Patrick Stewart. And anybody
Yeah,
here?
but
think,
he almost doesn't even have a British accent though.
does
He's been
anybody
over
here
for so
think
long.
that if they're like, all right, we made first contact,
I'm
who are they
sending-
sending in? They're sending in Patrick Stewart. Oh, phew.
I'm like,
Oh, thank God.
and please send Posh Spice along with
And
him.
Andy Dick. Andy Dick. Don't do that. Don't send
Who's the
Andy
guy who
Dick.
played Iago in Aladdin? What's his name?
Oh, Guilford Godfrey.
Yeah, he's-
don't send him either.
don't send him.
It's horrible.
Dude, remember when he made that 9/11 joke like on 9/13?
That's great.
He was like, I would have been here sooner if I had a layover at the Empire State Building.
It's the Empire Chrysler Building. It doesn't matter.
It was fucking terrible.
He's
It
brutal.
was. But you know that he stole that joke for somebody. It was a Key Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
When the Key Bridge got, they called up the airlines. Hey, are you gonna make a stop at the Memorial Bridge as well?
I just heard something that John Williams stole the fucking Star Wars theme from somebody.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
there's like some song called like Stars Across something or whatever, and like the general theme of it he took.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way.
there's a buddy of mine. He knows a stupid amount about classical music, and he says that
It's a weird flex.
It is, but we were talking about John Williams music, and there is a dude. He's like, yeah, look up this guy. He was like a student of his or something like that. And like I listened to it, like it's all, but you can hear it. You can hear like, oh, this is where he evolved from. It's pretty interesting.
Well, if you apprenticeship for somebody, even
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
a
yeah,
painter,
yeah.
you're going to kind of take their skills
absolutely,
with
absolutely.
you. So.
We're going to get into a Star Wars conversation later with some of this 9
Was there more rumors?
leaks. Well, stuff that we talked about briefly.
Okay.
But I do want to say this. I had this guy hit me up through DMs, slid up in them, and he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "I'm a huge Star Wars fan too, but I mainly prefer the original trilogy, and then I dabble in everything else, like on a need to basis, with the exception of Rogue One. Like he's like, I like Rogue One in the original trilogy, and that's it."
Okay.
And he
I
was
mean,
like,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
and he was like, but I listened to Nerd Rage. I listened, and he was like, I can tell you're like a fucking passionate Star Wars fan. And he was like, let me ask you a question. Can you put them in order for me? And like, I ran through the order real quick. And he was like, and you're a big music person. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, just think about that for a minute. And like, I was sitting there looking at the list, and I was like, holy shit, it's like almost in soundtrack order as well.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean? Like all that shit is playing a part in why I'm choosing what I'm choosing. Like it's all intermingled for me. Like and maybe if you remove some of the musical elements from those films, they become different to me.
I definitely think that if you remove John Williams from Star Wars would not have been as successful.
Someone actually took the Star Wars movie and they're like, what if you took music from the era and added it like they do in a lot of movies? How would it be? And someone did the clip, and we can look it up on YouTube at some point.
The Chewbacca one where they were walking the throne room?
No,
That's just funny.
just music from that era, like pop music from that era instead of classical music, and it just doesn't flow. I mean, so you're right. The music is a huge element to the game. And a matter of fact, when I play the game, I actually have the music on all the time. I don't know if you noticed that, but the game's not like that. There's no music, and then when you get to a certain part, like you're about to break through, then the music comes on for a short time, then it kind of goes away. But I play the music all the time. That's actually why I don't stream and promote my channel, because you can't have all that music on the entire time. But I won't play the game.
You know, kind of
Unless
swag.
but I won't play the. Let me put it this way: I could never monetize it I always have the game audio on because I love the game audio.
What you could do
The score of it
is you could play.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't mean to correct you. I'm saying that like Star Wars is credited as the film to bring back the score. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'll tell you, man, if you
agree
ever
with that.
get the option to, and you want to watch the Superman, the original Superman with John Williams, there's a track in the
Like instead of a commentary, it's like the music track.
but it's just music.
Correct.
There's no vocals in it at all.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing,
Dude,
It's fucking
have you ever
amazing.
seen the YouTube video where it's like the Star Wars without music, and it's the throne room scene, and they're like just walking behind. It's like that one guy's like,
Yeah.
and then, no, when Chewie does it, when Chewie does the roar at the end after the, he's like,
Dude, that goat
gotta
scream,
watch
that goat scream shit, dude. I can't get it enough, man. I can't get it enough, man. The screaming goats, that's what they sound like. It's a goat scream. That's what it is. Yeah.
it's fucking great.
They're like,
You did love that. I remember.
I
you
want to
did.
go look them up
I
right
did
now.
love them. Let me,
God damn it.
let me stop this real quick so I can check and make sure my kid got home safe a half hour later.
Oh, it never gets old.
Yeah, let me show you this is what I'm talking about.
We need to get another one of those.
I know, but it only had one jack, I think.
You're right. Here we go.
You can hear the footsteps.
Dude, where's Chewie's medal, bro?
That shit is so funny, man. It makes it look so fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
It's all stupid.
Fucking metal scene.
Why didn't Chewie get a medal? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Why
is-
didn't Chewie get one?
Wait.
Even R2's like stepping, it's like clink, 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 clink.
It's a noisy ass coat.
Oh, wow.
Great podcasting.
Yeah, I know. It's getting ready to get close to the chewy screen.
Dude, what if R2 squeaked when he moved?
It is so bad without the music, I have to say. It's so bad. It makes...
You know what's it's funny? It's like because you've watched it so long, you've grown up with so long, you're so apologetic about the dumb shit of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years old?
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like it's. I remember when we were in Georgetown when the remake of Empire came out, and we were watching on the IMAX screen, and like Luke gets
you
kissed.
and I were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke gets kissed
Uptown.
by the Uptown by Leia, and like that, and everybody's like, ooh,
Yeah.
you know. But then like you just keep going, you know, like little incest
'Cause
kiss, no big deal.
Yeah, but
nobody cares.
They weren't supposed to be brother and sister.
Exactly.
And
And-
so it
and-
doesn't. You got it. That's why you have to kind of.
Oh, I mean, little did they know Game of Thrones was going to be around the corner in about 30 years.
Yeah, there we go.
Yo, what if that sort of that fetish?
Yeah.
Are you all caught up on Game of Thrones now?
I am.
Is it good?
So the first episode was kind of
See,
trash.
Really?
The
Well,
second,
there was just everyone kind of getting together.
it was
and
too much. It was too much. I feel like the first and the
Boring.
second episode should have been combined into one.
I absolutely agree with that.
But this fucking episode that's getting ready to hit,
it's gonna be bomb.
it's supposed to be the largest, longest battle ever shot on film.
Really?
Really. I'm trying to think. What have they had that's huge battles like Sauron? Or, Middle Earth.
Without CGI, like with
Oh,
real
yeah.
people,
Interesting.
practical effects that they say in the
So
business.
like bigger than Braveheart. I'm trying to think of the big
Yeah,
battles where
yeah.
they were like, hugely choreographed.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I bet? I bet you some of these Indian films would probably have the record, the standing record, because they do those. Like,
Well, there was
epic-
like 30 cowboys to start with. So
in space. Nobody hears a goat scream. Name of this podcast.
so we were watching Solo. We were watching Star Wars trailers, all of us.
Okay.
And the Solo trailer came on. Oh no, I'm sorry, just the Solo music, like the
Yeah.
which is only in the trailer, not in the movie, which is a fucking bummer. But neither here nor there. Selena hears it from across the room and like runs over. And was like, "Ooh!" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Big gangster putting together a big crew."
That's funny. So are they? There's no word on Solo 2, right? That's dead in the water.
It's not. So just recently, somebody said that there's more to the story that needs to be told. But
yeah, like where'd Darth Maul's legs go?
no, that's told.
No. We know how they got separated.
No, I mean the Clone Wars covers most of that.
We didn't know where they went.
Yeah, he just lay there and he just hated.
He ate his own legs.
That dude's a fucking hater.
How does he poop?
It's all. How does General Grievous poop? He probably. I mean, that's the whole thing is all robotic from down there.
Yeah, but I'm
so-
saying he was before he had the robot butthole. I'm assuming that he gets to get rid of his food.
You can live for a couple days like that. There's like a story of some guy that gets ran over by a train and he's like cut in half, and his wife comes and like hangs out with him for a while because he's still
It's
alive.
a weird time to orgasm.
No, I'm saying like he's like, how does he poop? I mean, I'm just thinking technically, you can live a little while if you're
he might
cauterized.
He might out Adam me. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
So, another thing. So my grandmother is in hospice on my mother's side, and she's gonna die. You know, like that's where you do that.
That's the last step.
That's what takes place there, and so they're like, do you want to talk to her or try to talk to her? And I was like, sure. I don't know what to say really.
How out of it is she?
Well, she's. I mean, I told her I loved her. She said I love you too. I'm not even sure if it's true, but I went through the steps.
Both statements.
Yeah. And anyway, so like I'm on speakerphone with my stepfather and a 3-way call with my sister, and
Sounds technical.
she's like, the person that came in to change her bandages because she like broke her hip or whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters. It's like actually big time matters, but like for the sake of the story, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it hurt her, to move her to like change the bandages. So that she wanted to get more nurses to like help and then administer Dilaudid and like calm her the fuck out. And so anyway, I'm on speakerphone. That's important to the story.
Gotcha.
So she says, I'm going to step out for a minute, but more nurses are coming back. And I said, and in greater numbers.
I'm sure no one got that. They're like, what are you talking about, Bobby?
But then I was in the chat with you guys, and I was like, dude, my grandma just got put in hospice, and talking to my family members, there's this whole thing about whether she should have gone to rehab or should have gone to hospice. Like her kidneys are failing. Like there's enough, but then there's like some sketchy shit as to whether or not it's life insurance is at the heart of some of these decisions, and on, and all this typical shit that comes along with death and family, and for a white trash family anyway. And I was like, I was talking to him, and I was exchanging that information. They're like, well, is there any chance? Somebody said, like, is there any chance of rehab? And I was like, well, no, not if she's in hospice. Yeah, that's where you die. Dim the rules. Like, and I knew it would make Joe feel better because he's kind of callous towards death.
Yeah.
But like, I think it comes down to it's not that you're callous towards death. It's that you're callous towards death of people that I don't want to say don't matter, but don't matter as much. I don't know how else to say it. Like, if
that you're not close to.
Yeah, that you don't have this, like, that you're not like tightly knit to or bonded with. Like, she was a pleasant woman. She is a pleasant woman. And
I guess it's kind of wired in because we can't internalize the death of every human being just because we can sometimes understand the process and that's going to happen. We got to lie to ourselves at a certain point.
But this whole fucking phone call was so fucking bizarre. I haven't spoken to my stepfather in over a decade.
Has it been that long?
No. Well, yeah. Just about a decade. So.
Since you guys moved in here, right?
Et cetera, et cetera. My brother, at a certain point, they call me back. My brother Ben on three-way and like with FaceTime, and like, my stepfather's a fucking. He's a nice guy now. He wasn't when I was a kid, but he's a weirdo, And he was like, and he was like talking,
like wears pajamas out in public.
And he was like talking to my nanny, which is what we called her, nanny. And she was like, Nanny, I got Bobby and Ben on the phone, Nanny. Bobby and Ben, the two B's. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what fucking universe am I in right now? Like, no one's ever called us the two B's. I'd prefer if you never call us the two B's ever again. And like,
I want to make sure that's on your tombstone.
Like
half
the B's. And I don't know, man.
And I'm going to put 2B, like the number and then the B.
And then she was like, there was some weird joke. I'm guessing that's some sort of inside joke because like she doesn't have any fucking teeth, right? So she hadn't had teeth fucking as long as I've known her. Like it just fucked me up one night. Like I was a kid, I went to the bathroom, fucking jar of teeth sitting on the counter. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like so like I went to this. I like they start like I guess like toothless motherfuckers like move their lips all around and shit. Like it always looks like they're like searching for the teeth that aren't there, like phantom teeth. So like she
phantom gums. Dude, great name for a bad guy. Phantom gums.
Like people that like scratch their arm and it's not there and shit. Like
the phantom pain.
Yeah. So she like a lot of that and like so, like I guess my brother Ben was like, "What are you chewing on, a marshmallow?" And then like my stepfather was like, "Oh, you chewing on a marshmallow, Nanny? Nanny, chewing on a marshmallow? Nanny, got your teeth in, Nanny?" I'm like, "Oh my God. Get me off of this fucking phone immediately."
Why did you just hang up the phone, man?
I didn't know what to do. Like, you hang up. Like, yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm out.
I'm sorry, it's breaking up.
Look, you're out. I'm out.
We're good.
I take like a
piece of paper.
Well, I'm on FaceTime, so like I'd have to like take a piece of paper with a printout of the snow.
No, you talk like.
Like
you just got to block out your voice.
Just freeze.
I'm trying to.
Dude, that's actually pretty good.
I can't hear.
So, but you can't move your lips. The picture's got to freeze as well.
Well, if they don't hear the audio too,
and just start making a noise.
So, I'm trying to think what else I did. I watched Rogue One. Fucking so good. And then here's the kicker. This is what I've been waiting for. I get a text message.
A text, you say?
2 days ago,
mysterious.
at 1:00 in the morning, that says, "What are you doing right now?" From a number I don't have saved.
Oh, great! Dude, what could we be doing? Should be your response.
So I sent back ? And then I called at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and the voicemail was for Mr. Troy.
Oh shit!
So I left a voicemail, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry I missed your text. I was like, that's fucking late as shit. And I was like, but don't ever text me with what are you doing right now at 1 o'clock in the morning. And the bored ? Like, no, man, I'm not that. I'm never that fucking bored. So
New number. Who's this?
the next night, I get a phone call at 1:30 in the morning.
AM.
Last night, yeah, well, this morning.
Okay.
I'm up.
Okay.
I answer.
Okay.
First time Troy and I have spoken
5 years.
since Mario's death era, like that Halloween, the last Halloween party where Gus ended up naked on the front lawn.
Yeah. So it's been
Long time.
6 years?
Long time.
7 years?
So I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey man, it's Troy. And I was like, what's up, dude? And he was like, yo, we used to be fat as shit. That's how he started the conversation. So like, I start laughing like immediately, and he's like, for real, man. I was looking at this picture. I was like, yo, why were we walking around like that? And like, all this shit. So like, anyway, stayed on the phone with him for like 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Caught up, reminisced. Like he has some medical stuff that he talked to me about that I'm not going to put out here. Half and half. We talked about half. We talked about we reminisced about Mario and stuff. He had some fucking good, like, dude, like some of the shit that he was telling, because like, I don't remember all of it. And he was like, dude, you remember the time she got super mad at me? And he got super mad at me, Mario? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, man, that motherfucker got super mad. And I was like, why? And he's like, well, he came home from work, and I got dropped off there like a half hour early. And this motherfucker gonna come upstairs and find me in bed with his mom drinking a 40. I mean, they were just sitting on the bed together, like both drinking 40s, because Troy probably bought some and brought them over. And like, hey, you want one? And just Mario like lost his shit. Like, and I remember now, like, but like Mario was like, yo, don't be drinking in bed with my mom. The fuck is wrong with you? And he was like, she said she wanted one. Like,
yeah, she did.
Wait, was the mom hot? That's all I got to know.
Oh, no.
No, never mind. It doesn't matter.
So like, I'm trying to think. He said, so I was like, I was talking about my brother, and I was like, I told him, I was like, I catch you up. My brother's getting high, and he was like, Tug, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, get the fuck out of here, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, oh, he want to be in the 21st century for real.
What?
But I do just it just vibrates on a different frequency, man.
Where is Tug right now?
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back in
Hospice.
maybe.
So he was like, it was a really good conversation, and like he said some things. He said some things that were fucking like fuck me up, man. Like he was like there was a part of me that I had to. He said I had to distance myself from you a little bit, and he was like, I came out there one time, and like you had like friends and family and kids, and I was like, I don't know this guy anymore. And he was like, what I didn't understand then, and it took me years to understand, where you were just growing, and I didn't really allow you that room to grow. Yeah,
Man, for real.
yeah, it was interesting, and I told him, I was like, it's funny because
Talk about you all the time.
there was a period where I went through like a subconscious phase of, am I becoming too kind of, cookie cutter, and I may have tried to go extra hard, like against the grain, to combat that for the sake of like remaining me, and
No one wants to conform, but we all kind of do it.
around that era, and so like it was good, man. It was a lot of good conversation, and we talked about his podcast. He was like there was 1 week where my numbers like went up all of a sudden, and he was like, I figured it was because you were talking about it on something, and I was like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's funny.
and and he was like, I've been watching you. He was like, just don't, because I was like, look, man, I miss you, dude. Like I miss you. Like and I love you, and I want to take advantage of the time that we have, because I feel like I didn't do it with Mario, and I have a place for you to be this presence if you want to be. And so we're gonna talk again. We were supposed to talk again today, but
Call in, man.
yeah, I don't know if he wants to do that.
I hear you.
Like
It's fine.
at this point, but yeah, it was just a funny fucking conversation, and the way he started it off with Like, man, we were fat as shit. It was so fucking funny.
Man.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that like really stood out. I mean, we did like a lot of reminiscing and about little weird stories and shit. One thing he did say interesting. He was like, who would have thought that when Mario found quote unquote true love with Liz for that, initially anyway, that would have been his demise. Like.
Why do you think that is?
This like turn of events, because like had he not gotten involved with Liz, he may not have moved to that neighborhood. Had he not moved to that neighborhood, he wouldn't have met those guys. Had he not met those guys, like on and on and on.
Yeah, a chain of events.
Yeah, and like I don't know. It was a good conversation.
Or he could have died a month earlier.
Yeah, he was talking about his Uncle Bud. Do you remember his Uncle Bud? Like he was like a schizophrenic. Used to sit out on the porch all the time, and he was like, yeah. You just walk by and you'd be like, hey, Bud. And you'd be like, yeah. They're called cannibals.
I don't remember his grandmother. I don't remember
Doggy
Bud.
dog, sneaky snake, froggy frog.
I only been to
It's a random
Troy's house like 3 times ever.
Yeah, and he was, it was interesting. It was a good conversation. We were talking about like the ghosts in that building and all that stuff, like going down memory lane, Shane and trees, and the whole bit, and how much we kind of missed that age. And I don't mean that in the sense of like how many years you've been on the planet, but where life had some unexpected nature to it.
Yeah, some mysteries in the universe.
You never knew what the night had in store for you. Where like now you wake up in the morning and
you really didn't know if Little Kim's stomach was pumped.
Correct. Or if Manson had a rib removed.
No, that stuff still happens. We just don't pay attention to it when we're older.
But the thing is, now you can just
Kim
verify.
Kardashian. Well,
yeah, you can. There's a certain like romanticism to the mystery of the urban legend that you couldn't verify. You just had to choose.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
be like, oh yeah, totally.
But like when you just wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I'm going out tonight, but I don't know what that entails.
Yeah.
Like I know we're heading here first, but after that, the world is our oyster. We talked about this time that I was a young lad and old enough to know better.
Suck your finger in a grown man's belly button. Go on.
Old enough to know better, young enough to not give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And I made a stupid decision, and I drove intoxicated beyond what I should have been doing.
Yeah.
I didn't have a breathalyzer with me, but I knew I was not okay.
Yeah.
And luckily it all worked out safely. But I mean, anybody listening, like, it's a fucking stupid decision. Never ever do it. Anyway, he was like, I'll never forget. We were driving down 95, and like you just looked over at me and you was like, man, I'm whipping this motherfucker, and I was like, hell yeah, like. But just reminiscing about like
is he gonna come out one of these days?
Yes, and we're gonna try it, because I was like, man, I'd love to talk music with you. I'd love to talk, because he's a pretty interesting take on music and the like. So, and we talked about music a little bit. He listens to like podcasts and stuff. We talked about his podcast.
Listens to Drake.
No, but like he listens to stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think but he's always been that way.
No, yeah, he's always been eclectic.
Yeah.
In his,
it was good, man. It was. I told him, I was like, dude, I feel better.
Good.
Like, and he had some health issues, and he was like, man, I didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody about it, and like all this shit. And
is he good now though?
Yeah, it seems like it. And I was like, man, would you just let me know that? You know what I mean? Like, don't just fucking fall off the face of the planet. Like,
it does get crazy, because there's a few people that I haven't spoke with in a while, and like every once in a while, I'm like, shit, where the fuck is so and so at?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you're like, God damn, I haven't seen that dude for forever. Oh, like
he brought up some people like Wiggs.
Oh wow,
he brought up Gus. I got updated on them. Cody.
Is he still working out there? Same area?
He's back. He ended up working at ICU as like a OR prep for a while at St. Agnes.
Really?
Oh, are they?
Shit. I forgot. Oh yeah, like there's this dude that I went to school with. And somebody told me, like, hey, you remember Mike? Like, yeah, dude, he had a heart attack. He died. Like, what? So this rumor went on for like weeks that this guy died, and we were all trying to verify. Finally, he didn't die.
No.
Didn't die at all.
It's fine.
It's fine. He's kicking it. But it's like you lose track of people. Like, dude, this motherfucker's at my wedding, and I haven't spoken with him for a while. I thought he was fucking dead.
Right.
And like perpetuating the fucking rumor. You know?
Yeah, it's anyway, I was grateful for that conversation. We talked about, do you remember Sebas and Reese and them?
Oh yeah.
So they had, their crew was called Major Noise. And then they were
Wolf
also
Pack and
the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember that. So we were talking about that, and I will never forget that when it first started happening, Reese was at some meeting with like some people, and he brought them up, but he didn't even quite know the name yet. So it was Major Noise, the Wolf Pack, and he was like, yeah, man, you should meet my guys, the whole crew. Yeah, they're very good. You're gonna love them. And they're like, what are they called? I was like, Major Wolves, I think.
There's a little drama at the end of that relationship. I remember.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about a lot of that,
Like messing up the tracks and everything.
Yeah,
Was that them or
a
somebody
little
else?
bit of sabotage, I think, was going on because it started getting competitive and salty, and it was all good.
So
because we were cool after that, it never got really between us.
that was awesome, man. I'm glad Troy's doing well.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to think if we did anything. At Easter, had the Pinkertons out. My dad and them came out.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and my dad was actually really engaged, which was different but nice to see. Like engaged with the kids, engaged. Like it was a different.
It wasn't like, Bob, it is now 12:15. I have fulfilled my annual obligation to come visit you.
No,
and
he
I'll
actually
be leaving now.
he actually stayed late. Like
Really?
Yeah, like not late, but I mean
Ugh,
probably
that's not a good sign.
like 1 or 2 p.m.
I'd be like, dude, are you all right?
Yeah,
Let me check your pulse, bro.
No, I can't. that one won't be them the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was some funny moments there too that I can't go into right now. But regarding his wife and some funny like tidbits that
we'll get
happened.
into it. You got your new fucking Hot Toys.
Yeah, I got
So
the
much
Joker,
swag.
Scarecrow, and Batman.
So you paid how much for those 3?
13.
Now, there's a Gordon that you were going to get too, but you didn't get.
Not on this batch. I'm in for it.
Okay.
But,
So he's only
I couldn't swing it.
Gotcha.
I had a.
He wouldn't do the credit. I owe you.
I didn't ask.
You're an internet celebrity, so
I had a
trust
pretty lucrative month between NJCC and I sold a bunch of Transformers.
Yeah.
And
for inexpensive.
No, that was I did, but that was separate. So I had NJCC where I sold a bunch of shit, and then I sold a bunch of Transformers also separate from that.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then I made that money at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
So I had like a pretty good month, so I was able to get those, but I got to wait a bit on the other ones.
Nice. How happy are you?
I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'm like, I can't even describe it. It's not happiness. It's like relief.
Yeah, like the burden's off you.
Yes.
You know what's funny, man? Like, I've got a love-hate relationship with that Batman costume. I hate to say that you're right, but I think I like the Batman Begins Batman costume better than that one. I don't,
and I like the George Clooney one. It's too much going on.
Well, you know what it is? I like the story aspect of it, that it's a technological improvement. Like that's the part I like about, like, he's bettering himself, and there's some aspects of that suit that were cool. But like there's something about that cowl, because it's like a helmet, it's like a bike helmet.
Yeah.
That I miss that big ass neck, so to speak. Like he looked like a monster.
Well, he asked for the neck to be improved so he could turn.
Yeah. Well, he could turn his head in the previous one.
Well, yeah, but no, it was like.
It
you
was
mean Dark Knight?
No, and even in Batman Begins, it was much improvement than anything else. Like he could still do this a little bit.
Yeah, but he still definitely had that.
Oh, it was a limited range, but it was heads and tails over
heads and necks
over previous incarnations of the suit.
But yeah, it is. It's a relief. It feels like they're home.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have you've had the Catwoman for a while now. You've had the Bane for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that going to be your Hot Toys Batman? Like that's all you need?
No. I'm like. I'm all but one payment on the Affleck Justice League.
Oh, okay.
But they haven't put like I'm all but one payment on the Affleck Justice League, on the Flash, on the Aquaman, but like they're just not coming out.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know where the fuck they are, but I'm only one payment away on all three.
I mean,
of them.
have they been? They've been released though, right?
No.
Really?
Yeah, the tech suit Batman may have been released, but not the one that I wanted.
Oh, the gray one.
Yeah. So.
Dude, I'll tell you, if I could get that
Superman 2, maybe I might be all up to date. Like I'm up to date payment wise on all of them. It's just
if I could find that '89 Keaton Batman, I might be in on that.
Yeah, it's on my radar
Who
now.
makes these? Like who?
Hot Toys.
And do they make a Keaton one? Like
Oh yeah,
okay.
they make everything.
Is it the same that's in there?
Yep. Everything in here except Wolverine is Hot Toys. Wolverine is Crazy Toys. So
yeah, so I got that, and that's about it. I actually have another Hot Toys coming this week.
Is that your final destination with that Joker?
No, because DC is all going over here.
Are you gonna do the interrogation scene?
No.
Really?
No.
How can you resist?
Easily. Like I don't want Batman with him for my display.
You know what I would do? What scene I would do? Him pulling him up across the table.
Yeah.
So like Joker's coat's off and like his legs are like up in the air and he's like yanking him up across the table off. He would fucking be so dope, man.
Yeah. There's more out there.
I hear you.
They didn't stop making them.
I'm not dropping $800 for those.
They're $800 a piece?
No, but it's a late tax.
Yeah, like they were probably $250 when they came out, but now they probably go for $400 if you bought them single.
Yeah, like Joker goes for more, but the rest of them go for like $400. Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. We do have a little bit of news. Not a whole lot, honestly.
Did you see that trailer for the Gemini movie with Will Smith?
I saw that.
No, I didn't bother.
They did a good job making him look
It
young.
looks like, dude, this de-aging technology is getting to be. It's getting to be a situation.
Yeah.
Like.
That's why I said they should have waited for it to really come to fruition before they made Solo. They should have taken Harrison Ford and de-aged him and made Solo. Not that I didn't like the Solo
I don't think he would have done it.
He didn't have to.
No, he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have done it.
Have you seen deepfakes? I mean, deepfakes, you could just put someone's head and voice on,
I haven't done that, so to speak, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, I mean,
but
not just for pornographic.
All the other
forms, you have to
de-aging
for
stuff
everything.
is with the actors.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
So you can't
But it didn't it was Carrie Fisher.
She was completely
She
CGI,
was
and
completely CGI.
And Tarkin
Okay,
was
yeah.
Tarkin was CGI.
Yeah, of
CGI
course,
too, 100%.
he's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
exactly.
like you could do Mark Hamill and fucking de-age his ass.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
You can. Who's the guy who played the Winter Soldier? They did a thing where they swapped the faces with
Oh, yeah,
Mark
yeah, yeah.
Hamill as
Yeah.
young and him, and they look like they look
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah. I mean,
Get the right angles, at least,
yeah.
But
I know.
they could have used him to make a young Mark Hamill. Not that they're going to make anything with a young Mark Hamill, but still.
So my first note is this isn't going to happen, is it? Masters of the Universe reboot is delayed.
Oh, surprise.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Is it a cartoon or what?
It's
No, the movie.
It's a new movie. You know what it comes down to, man? I think in the era of hashtag Me Too, He-Man may just not. It may just not be.
I think there's She-Ra.
I hear you, bro. But She-Ra is like the Princess of Power. That's like what it's all about. Like, is he just too masculine for today's audience? Is that what it is?
No, I don't think that's
whole
the case
thing is-
at all. Honestly,
Girls are going to want to go see it because it's him and he's shirtless. Whoever plays He-Man, and then it's just like all the guys are going to want to go because it's friggin' He-Man.
Yeah.
I think it's only been pushed back a year, and they say they've started on it, but
We'll see.
yeah, I have a bad feeling that
So was Gambit.
yeah, exactly.
And so for the history of this podcast, which we've been doing for how many years now?
4 or 5.
Yeah, we've been like, oh yeah, Gambit movie's coming. They've got the director.
I never.
Channing, what's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Channing.
That's his name. Yeah.
Can I
Channing
Channing your
Tatum.
Tatum?
The next note is Stan DocumentLEE.
Stop it. Stop it.
There's the Russo brothers are doing a Stan Lee documentary supposedly.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking very cool.
Isn't it going to be a film release or Netflix, Hulu?
I don't. Let me see if they have it in here. It just indicates that they're working on a new project centered on late comics legend Stan Lee. According to the India Times, Anthony Russo confirmed the news, saying, "We love Stan Lee and think it's incredibly special that Endgame will be his final cameo. We're fascinated by the life of Stan, and we are actually developing a little something that has to do with his work and the history of Marvel." I'd almost be okay if they made it like a film, like a
Oh, yeah.
as opposed to a documentary.
Yeah.
Like get somebody to play him and fucking tell the story of his life. Bring Jack Kirby in, the folks over at DC, because like there's that famous story of Stan Lee playing golf with the DC folks and Stan Lee telling them about Fantastic. I think it was Stan Lee telling them about Fantastic Four, because it was gonna be like the first team book, and then they put together a Justice League book. Like,
oh, really?
There's like a famous story regarding that.
They'll eventually do that. I mean, this documentary is just, you come out with a documentary about Stanley, you're going to make some money.
I mean, they're
And
doing
he
one
just
about
died, and then you can actually have a full-fledged film.
they're doing a
for sure.
biopic about Tolkien right now, and a biopic and especially band biopics.
Yeah, but that one's like
or biopic.
yeah,
My bad.
I don't know what it is.
My bad.
People say biopic, but
Yeah,
I've always I read it as biopic when I see it. But it doesn't matter. That one's actually that the Tolkien family is not behind it.
Yes, they did not get approval before they.
Why, I wonder?
Because it's a free country, apparently. Fuck them. I don't know.
Jim, we were considering, and we're taking into great consideration. But you know what? We never really fully contemplated the idea of just saying "fuck them," "fuck them," Jim, "fuck them." Seriously.
Why not? Fuck them.
Let's see what else.
Dude, if they wanted to do a biopic or a biopic on you, worst actor to play you.
Here's the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito.
Dude, I swear to God, that's exactly who came to my mind.
You know what's funny is
I swear to God,
I think Laura's dad looks like Danny DeVito.
he does. He looks like a Argentinian Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fancy word for Italian if you do your history.
True that.
Well, I mean, no offense, but they both don't have hair, and he's just the shortest, ugliest guy you could possibly get. So he'd be the worst actor, is my point. The best would be McAvoy, probably. I mean, he could do accents.
He's got range.
He totally could play somebody. I mean, he's pretty good. That movie you're talking about where he plays as the Beast or whatever,
Yeah.
and
I
all the
think
other people.
honestly it would be Christopher Lloyd that would end up playing me because I look like Uncle Fester from Addams Family.
And Tony Soprano had a kid.
Yeah, it had a kid. So the end is the end. Avengers Endgame is supposedly not having a post-credit scene. However, it should be noted that they have said this before because they've not included them in screenings in the past and then when the official one came out. But you know what? I think it's the classy move, honestly. Like, because I feel like if
Are
you're
we ready to get into this with Endgame?
we can have it. We can have it. But I think that like theoretically, if they're going to put a bonus scene at the end of it, it should lead up to Spider-Man. And like, I feel like that's the wrong choice.
I would agree because first off, Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is going to take place before the event.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Let me ask something. Is there something happening soon after this? Like, this is a whole
Spider-Man comes out in
not
June?
Spider-Man. If Spider-Man is like before this movie, right?
We're not sure.
I'm 80% sure.
Okay. Well, like a collaboration with all these characters, like, they had their individual movies and they all come together. What's the next thing for Marvel? Like, have they discussed it? Is it coming soon?
So Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2,
But
The
that's all-
Eternals.
Okay, what's the okay?
It's going to be like a cosmic whatever.
He's saying, I
and
mean, like,
Guardians 3.
Okay, so those are
just to be
out.
fair,
But Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 2 is the end of Phase 4, Phase 3. What phase are we in right now? Phase 4.
5.
No, Phase 4. We're in Phase 4 right now.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the fourth Avenger movie, right? No.
Third. It's the end of the third phase.
Okay, so we're into Phase 3. That's right.
Kevin Feige,
Fig,
fuckery. Kevin
Forget Me Not.
Figaro, not the chain,
Phaser,
the cat from Pinocchio.
Figaro.
It says it's the end of the third phase.
Okay. Spider-Man.
Far From Home.
Okay. All right. Cool.
His statement means that it's now up to Tom Holland closing the ceremonies for phase 3.
Cool. So there's been some early reactions from Endgame. This is a non-spoiler thing because they haven't. It's not a proper review because I think they have a hold off on reviews until tomorrow night. But everything I've seen is that it's an unbelievable experience, and that's kind of been like the unify. This film is an experience, and it's not a movie as much as it is an experience. Mm-hmm. They say you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have stitches in your side, laughing so hard you'll be fucking weeping your eyes out. That the timing, like the time of it, like dude, I could do 5 hours. Like that film, I could do 5 hours. That it does it ties up things beautifully. It does leave things open-ended, I think, to support like the next Marvel things on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming
Loki.
that's
Oh yeah, they're making a Loki show.
So Loki, Vision, and what Red
Wanda.
Jesus Christ, Wanda, and Scarlet Witch. I want to say Red Witch, and Winter Soldier and Falcon. So there's I guess there's more to flesh out there. Mm-hmm. And of course, some people live, some people die. They're not going to give it away. I think everybody assumed that was going to happen. We don't know who is going to live or die. but everything has been very positive, and they're like, they did it.
I hope so.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
There's one thing that really concerns me about that movie, and
Hulk smash.
No, not even that. Just the, and this is from a Toiler.
Yeah.
So if you
Spoilers.
if you're
99,
concerned, skip ahead. But
98, 97.
You know, the idea of a good guy gauntlet,
versus
the bad guy gauntlet. It just
good Batman versus bad Batman.
It just doesn't. Yeah. It just that's written on a piece of paper or seen on a shelf in a toy store. It doesn't mean that I won't see it done and be like, okay, it was cool. Yeah, I'm good with it. But it's just seeing it is like, really.
But there's also been other Toilers that ended up not being legitimate in this film series. So
it's gonna be something with when Doctor Strange was like spare Stark. I think he'd see something that we're gonna find out.
Him making a good guy gauntlet.
The other thing,
something like that. I mean, that's what when you said that, it just sparked. I'm like, he's gonna make something with technology instead of
with science.
Exactly,
science, bitches.
And then it's gonna
One other thing that's been said is that nobody has guessed it. The spoilers out there are bullshit.
Yeah, they've said that.
And
we'll see.
Nobody's really hit on the theory, so we'll see how tight-lipped.
I'm glad because I don't even know what you guys are talking. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
spoilers.
Yeah, there's been a lot of spoilers.
Well, you see, what happened is
don't tell me because I don't want to know shit.
But they say it's not. None of them are true.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that.
We'll see.
But I'll know soon enough.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the ones that we talked about are pretty mainstream, so I don't think that the people that I watched 3 or 4 of them today. I can't imagine those people wouldn't be in the know of what we knew. You know what I mean? To make those references. So
I guess so.
But Hugh Jackman isn't as Wolverine. That's been confirmed.
That's been confirmed
because he's the best Wolverine ever.
McAvoy as well.
Yeah.
That's a joke before everybody gets mad.
I was about to say that sounds pretty cool. At least
right?
Hugh Jackman.
So back to the swamp. So there's been a Swamp Thing trailer.
Yes.
And reports that it's being canceled
at the same time.
Really? Yeah. So
have you seen the Swamp Thing makeup, like the close-up shot?
Haven't.
So I guess it's a dude, some wrestling dude. I wish Chris was here. I think the guy's Kane or whatever.
Genghis Khan.
So the image I saw of him. So let me see. Swamp. Let's see. I gotta pull him up. Thing.
According to the newspaper, Swamp Thing actor Virginia Madsen posted but later deleted a message on Instagram saying, "I'm beyond sad. What a terrible decision. We have been cut to the core by those who have never set foot into the swamp. And despite the rule, I'm going to use the hashtag Swamp Thing."
What does that even mean?
Production of DC Universe's Swamp Thing has unexpectedly shut down as the show will be shortened, according to Wilmington, North Carolina star. Oh, so it's just shortened. According to several unnamed sources within the local industry, Warner Brothers Television suspended work on the show Tuesday, April 16th, and said the show was being rewritten to end with episode 10. The series was announced as a 13-episode first season to finish filming in May.
Huh.
What the fuck?
It's hard to kind of see it, but...
Yeah, that's not the right... That's not
like
the
only
I don't
one
hate that
find.
at all.
There's actually a better shot of him.
He looks like a mix of Swamp Thing and that Lagoon creature.
But that's the dude that plays him right there, the bald guy.
Uh-huh.
But it's actually like he doesn't have much makeup on. Like you can still see his facial features.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he was ugly.
Like the droopy
I mean, he's not a pretty dude. He's not.
But I don't know. That's curious to me.
Curious.
Maybe it's a legal thing if he says we're not supposed to use hashtag Swamp Thing. What does that mean? Like, is that...
I guess they weren't supposed to use it yet. Because now, I mean, hashtags are like part of the fucking rollout.
Yeah, that's really odd.
The main man is here though. KRYPTON season 2 trailer. The fucking Lobo looks great.
He looks perfect.
However,
he's goofy as fuck.
I always wish that fucking
Ron Perlman.
Aquaman. That's who I wanted to be. Lobo.
Oh, okay. Jason, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
I like him as Aquaman, even though I get you. I get what you're saying.
Like I was like,
Jason
he's fucking
Momoa,
perfect.
Yeah, he would be perfect for it. But I mean,
and he even has that like dude bro attitude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
He's
You're
Hawaiian.
not wrong.
He's Hawaiian, bro.
You're not wrong.
And then we have, but the trailer looks fucking great. You know what's funny to me about that trailer? All of the trailers, I haven't seen the show. I would like to see it though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that to me the part that looks the worst is the non-fantastic shit, like the more human interactions. I'm like, this looks like television. But like whenever Brainiac is on, I'm like, that looks great.
Are you
Doomsday
gonna
looks
buy
great.
the DVD like the season?
No, no, I
What
won't
if
buy
it's
it.
like $5?
$5 maybe. Yeah.
If you bought it for $5, maybe even 8. Actually, it doesn't matter what you buy it for. I'd sit down and watch a couple episodes with you.
You're like 12. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I can't support you wasting your money like that.
To take a massive piss. Where's your restroom?
Right there. Massive.
Hey, make sure you just next time just go take the piss, man. You
No,
don't have to-
I wanted everyone to hear that.
Yeah, well, take the microphone with you. Give them the real experience.
Wait, is it right here?
Yeah, but
go around the
around.
other way. So then we have a couple questions. I would do my best. Joe has been keeping track of the questions recently. This is a long one. This is from Oregon Jason. He said, listener question challenge. Since you just got back from Celebration, I thought it'd be cool to try a Star Wars challenge. You spoke on recent shows about how in the next Star Wars, if they... you know what? We should wait for...
Aaron, yeah.
Yeah, we should wait
He
for
likes
Aaron
Star Wars. Is there a... what's it called? Quick fire? What is it called?
Yeah, but
Rapid-
you don't want him to be a part of that?
No. Yeah, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
eager
yeah.
to have that. It's my favorite part of the week.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul C.
But yeah, it's...
No, I like your questions too.
Paul C did have a question, though. We could probably do that one because it was like his last. All right, so here we go. 2 final questions before Endgame. Okay?
All right.
What do you hope to see in the final post-credit scene in Endgame? There
Black-
didn't have to be any logical
Black
here.
screen.
I want it to be either black screen or something that sets up like a huge surprise, like Fantastic Four. Like with
You know what would be awesome? You just see like a purple band like this, just purple, and all of a sudden eyes open up in the square irises
it's Donatello.
for Galactus. It's Donatello. The Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Or, no, hold on a second. Let me think of this. My perfect, for me, my own selfish thing would be a Hugh Jackman scene as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Just to look at you and be like, What would be your perfect Endgame scene?
Endgame?
Like a post-credit scene. What would you want to see in for the next Marvel Universe expansion?
See, that's where I'm not nerdy enough because I don't know that much. I don't know what happens after that. So I can't really say.
No one does.
Really? I mean, that story I feel like came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's totally different. It's totally
I know,
different.
but what came after that?
Morph. You want to see Morph?
Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Morph.
It was Infinity Crusade, I think, was the...
Or
no, it was Infinity War.
Adam
Infinity
Warlock
War.
would be kind of cool. Seeing Adam Warlock at the end.
Doesn't he get the Infinity Gauntlet?
He does.
Yeah. But this is nothing like...
Yeah,
know,
that's what I hear. That's why I'm kind of like...
Yeah.
What would yours be?
Either Fade to Black or something like that set up like a huge fan service thing, like Fantastic Four or X-Men or something like that. But I'd be cool with Fade to Black. If it's something cheesy, I will be disappointed.
What if it's just the Cerebro opening up and like
Perfect.
a wheelchair coming in?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And just like picking up Cerebro.
But
and
if it's
and
like-
you don't even see the actors like putting the mask on and then it cuts.
But if it's like the Hulk taking a piss on Tony Stark's grave, like 2 years later, like because he's drunk or something, I'm like, it's dumb.
It's actually kind of cool sounding. Not gonna lie.
2, at which point in the
Huge,
At
huge dong.
No, surprisingly small. At what
Micro penis. That's why he's so angry.
It's the only thing that doesn't change. At which point in the MCU did you finally swing over to the side of I trust them, whatever they do with this, they've got a plan, as opposed to what the hell are they doing? This makes no sense.
Ooh.
When did it
Winter
all
Soldier.
start?
I don't feel that way.
Hold on. What's the question? The question is when did we
When did you trust them? When did you decide that, like, you know what?
When I saw the first Iron Man movie. So what came out before that?
Iron Man was the first one.
Iron Man, as soon as they had Robert Downey Jr. playing as him, the special effects, the story, how it all started, that was it. I was done.
See, I think that was a home run, but like I had been burnt before. I do remember Daredevil being shit.
You and I might have watched Daredevil together. I don't remember, but that I didn't even get through that movie. I didn't like it. I watched the first Hawk with.
I still have the uncut Coolio version. Never watched it. It's still in the wrapper.
Like what was the Hawk with the guy from American History X? What's his name?
Oh, Eric Bana.
Yeah, but what's the actor's name?
Eric Bana.
Not Eric Bana. The Hawk before that, the dude from Troy. No, that is Eric Bana. No, sorry, it's not Eric Bana. The guy from American History.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, wasn't he before Eric Bana?
No, he said that was the next movie after Iron Man, and that's actually my point. That Hulk is okay, but we just came off a bad Hulk relationship, and like I feel that
all
movie
garbage.
might be the weakest MCU link, and they've kind of brushed that one under the carpet. That's like the one that don't look at that one.
That's probably why I
Don't
thought it
look
was
at-
the first
That's how
one.
you got something in this hand. and you're like, what is this over here?
Yeah, look at the monkey. Look at the funny monkey.
I'm not paying attention. I got something in this hand I'm focusing on, and this I don't even remember.
I mean, because if you go back and look at that like, I mean, the casting was good. With some of the. I mean, I don't dislike what's his face. I prefer Mark Ruffalo. I just grown to like him more, and I prefer this version of the Hulk. And then Iron Man 2 wasn't bad, but then Avengers was
Iron Man
good.
2 was bad.
But Iron Man 3 was bad. Iron Man 3
Iron
was
Man
bad.
3 was bad.
And
Very
Captain
bad. They
and
both
Captain
were.
America was like the first one was okay. It was like the first act of Captain
wasn't-
America
it is great.
is
Captain
fucking
Amer-
solid.
Hold on.
When he's doing one of these off the giant tank.
How many times have you
watched?
watched Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3?
I mean, not that many.
Exactly. That's when someone says, "Oh, it was good." I'm like, what's the
But, well,
watchability?
but hold on, time out.
I've
though.
watched
But
Iron
hold
Man
on,
1
time out though. Anytime
so many times.
anytime a new Marvel movie came out though, I would go back and
Not
kind of
counting that.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
think-
see that's important though because if that's
No, because you're watching that for continuity. You're not watching it because you like it.
I
It's completely
agree.
different.
I agree. But I've watched scenes from those films.
And like replay value, I think is its own conversation. Like you can have a movie be really good with low replay value, like Schindler's List.
I watch it
Okay,
like every other week.
I can agree with that. But
I think
know,
for
if you-
something to
if
like
you love
really,
some-
yes, that I agree with. If it's like a classic to you and like endearing to you, you need to be able to watch it over and over again. But
So back to the question though,
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier is the answer.
yeah, for me, it hasn't happened yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still like, what the fuck? Like
You don't trust Russo brothers?
that's not the question. The question is trust the MCU. I don't trust this Spider-Man movie.
well,
Low trust.
you get burned with everything in your
Low
life. So
trust.
It's a mom thing.
It is.
somebody will take
got a
it
book
over
for
and
you.
ruin it. So
Speed
you
of
know.
trust.
But like, I'm not like there are the Marvel films that I love. I can count on one hand: Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War.
Iron Man.
No,
What?
Black Panther.
look, and it's not that I don't think that Iron Man is great. I do, but I don't love it. Like I can go without it easily.
I love it. Let me.
No Dark World.
Dark World would be a contender.
No Avengers movies
The
besides
first
Infinity War?
Avengers movie was dope.
That's not the question.
I get what you're saying, but what did it for me was all of. I mean,
I actually
just-
prefer the second Avengers movie over the first.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do not like that one that much.
But let me put this in context. I don't think it's better because I think it doesn't do much more than the first one did. Like there's no real growth. It's like they're doing kind of the same tricks again, but I just enjoy that film more. I just enjoy
think
watching
CGI
it.
is bad. There's so many things wrong with it. Like Age of Ultron, just it wasn't fun to watch.
I don't know.
Like it was work to watch it. Like there was many times when I watched it where I'm like, I wish I just want to pause this to go get a snack or watch something else. Like when I watch the first Avengers or Infinity War, I'm like, I want more of this.
I know.
but
I know what you're talking about
the
because
fun factor can be a turn off for me. Like you know what I mean? Like Guardians is like super fun,
I love Guardians.
but like it's actually it gets to a point where it's a turn off.
I
to me.
don't like Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one I've probably watched 3 times total, and I like it, but I don't like it that much. I mean, but like I said, the first Avengers, Infinity War, the first Iron Man were so good. Civil War was so good.
Civil War is great.
It's
But even like in the first Avengers, like it ends up with them fighting, all of those.
Chitauri or whatever.
Yeah,
Chitauri or whatever.
Yeah, and like I don't give a fuck. But like,
Chiclets. They were fighting
so
chiclets.
they do the same thing. They just fight a whole bunch of Ultron monsters.
Yeah.
But like I enjoy Ultron more than the Chitauri. Now the question of Loki is different, but
See,
I don't feel like Loki has as much of a role in
Ultron
the
himself.
Avengers movie as Ultron does in
Yes.
Avengers
and,
2.
and Ultron, there's a little bit. There's more at stake with him, and there's more an interesting dynamic between him and what's going on. I get that because Loki is kind of shoehorned into that role, that invader role. You know what I mean?
I agree.
What is the guy that played Ultron's voice?
David
something?
David Spader.
Or Spader.
Spader.
Like
Stargate.
Ultron is exactly. Ultron was awesome, an awesome character. But when they have all the, the other Iron Man guys running around, and he takes them over like the friggin' Borg or something like that, I just didn't like that. I guess I'm too critical of the special effects, and the CGI just wasn't good in that movie. The beginning was just terrible, and I guess for me, immersion's a huge part of it. And if the CG's bad, I can't get immersed, even though it might be better than it's not better than the first Avengers. But if you go back, CGI looked. There's other movies made earlier that look better than that significantly.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm not that way. Like I'm very forgiving of CG. Like I can critique it and be like, yeah, this looks bad, and I agree with you. Like that opening sequence in particular doesn't look great.
Yeah,
but it doesn't bother me really. Because for me, what I'm in for is the character beats. So like the character beats with like I have no strings and all that shit. Like I'm like, this means more to me.
His character, I'll say it again, his character was cool. Everything he said, his voice,
I think that's
is
why
just on point.
I 100% agree.
And he's a better villain than so many villains because David Spader or whatever his name is,
Spanner Wrench,
whatever his damn name is, Spader. David, yeah, that's right, Spader.
Yeah.
So he made that character. He was an awesome bad guy.
He's just coming off of the Blacklist, which
Yeah.
is really fucking
Yeah.
good, and I feel like a Blacklist really. He channeled his character in the Blacklist into Ultron.
Funny. He's in
So
The Office, and
do you trust?
funny as
Yeah, he's
hell.
fucking great in The Office. Do you trust the MCU?
Yeah, I mean,
What movie gained your trust of them?
I'll still say Iron Man. I mean,
So you were
Okay.
trusted him from Jump Street.
I know that's from the beginning, but I just thought that I thought that was such a leap in space.
You're kind of the abused spouse, like because you got cheated on with Iron Man 2, you got cheated on with Iron Man 3, but you're like, I still trust him. I know in his heart he's good.
No, because I knew when Iron Man 1 came out and then they were going to make a 2 and 3. I'm like, they're making a 2 and 3 because they made so much money with the first one.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. is an amazing actor. But I did not watch number 2.
Super actor.
I didn't watch number 2 in the movie theater, and I didn't watch number 3 because it's notoriously
fake ass fan.
Yeah, no.
You didn't trust them that much.
Notoriously, number 2 or number 3 just aren't going to be that good. I mean, I just don't. They're money cows. They're like, let's just come out with this and
Money cash cow.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. Like,
We talked about that last week.
the only number 2 in like any single movie is like Back to the Future 2 and
Empire, Aliens.
Back to the Future 2. What I was going to say, Terminator 2 was 10 times better than Terminator 1. It's like one of my
Aliens.
most favorite movies. I can't remember the Aliens, but I remember 2. I can't differentiate them, but
1 was like a horror movie in a spaceship, and
Yeah.
2 was like explains the world.
when you guys say like what made
Two
me
Towers.
trust them or something like that, that was better. It's just like they're gonna make bad movies. It doesn't, but
Godfather Part 2.
Yep, better.
Yeah. I mean, but there's not that many.
Leprechaun 2.
Goodfellas 2, straight to DVD.
Was there a Goodfellas 2?
More fellas.
Another 48 Hours?
Maybe.
Lethal Weapon 2 for sure.
Maybe. I don't even remember the Lethal Weapon movies. I just remember them being inferior to 48 Hours.
Caddyshack 2.
I don't know. Caddyshack's a classic, man. I'd have to watch
Caddyshack
him again. I might enjoy Beverly Hills Cop 2 more than 1.
I'll give you that.
If somebody were to say you're wrong, I'd be like, I'll accept me being wrong.
The second one's
I wouldn't argue it, but I do like the second one a lot because it's shot by fucking Tony Scott and it just fucking looks great. Everything that dude does is like moody as fuck. Even Eddie Murphy like grabbing his crotch, getting dressed in the morning was like, dude, this shit has a vibe.
Winter Soldier was the second one was better.
100%.
Yeah. Third one was even better.
Has
that
not that wouldn't be a hill I die on, but I'm not sure I agree with it.
Okay, fair enough.
What were you saying? Have you ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis of the Wise? He was so wise, he even stopped the wise from wising.
No. All right, what's next?
So we can get into the Star Wars question.
Oh, with lightning round?
No, we'll do that last.
Okay.
So this is a long one, so to speak, from Jason. He said, listener question challenge. Since you just got back from Celebration, I thought it'd be cool to try a Star Wars challenge. You spoke on recent shows about how in the next Star Wars, if they retcon Luke as having not died, say he teleported away or gets resurrected somehow, it kills the flow of the sequel trilogy for you, Bobby being the main you here, and ruins the 3-movie arc. I would like to challenge each of you to imagine a twist plot development where Luke lives and you are okay with it. It still works for you regarding the impact to the story and overall flow of the narrative. For me, it would be interesting in what happens to Luke at the end of Last Jedi is that scene of him meditating on Octu. I think that's the planet's name, and nothing to do with the effort related to making the Force projection. It was actually Luke using the culmination of his Force abilities to enter the spirit realm, the place where all the Force ghosts chill when they aren't sitting on logs in Dagobah, while still being alive and forcibly seeking answers from the great Jedi leaders and maybe other Force ghosts on the past on how to end the cycle of light and dark war that keeps perpetuating through the galaxy. Basically going for broke to try to end the cycle without repeating the same mistakes of the past. Could be interesting, too, if we learned that evil spirits exist there as well.
Floating spirits.
Maybe they are even part of what he experiences there. Maybe Palpatine, unable to directly influence the real universe, has been controlling or influencing Kylo through Snoke, who is simply a Force-controlled puppet, by breathing the spirit realm.
Puppet time.
I am a puppet. So go ahead. Go ahead. You're chomping at the bit. So
Bob Newhart. Luke wakes up on the forest moon of Endor. It's like, oh my god, what Ewok dream did I have last night? I had a fucking crazy dream. Your kids turned out to be an asshole. All right, you guys should get fixed right now and not have a kid. And then all of a sudden, they know the universe is fine.
Do you have one
dream?
Okay, so the question is how am I going to feel okay with him coming back to life?
If he does,
okay,
is there any scenario that
absolutely? I mean, this is a good one. Okay, do you remember in the Last Jedi Order book series or the New Jedi Order book series with Jason Solo and all that stuff?
Which particular part of it?
Okay, let me just say. So you know Jason Solo. This obviously isn't canon. Okay, but he does something called like Force walking or Force. Walking where he can go back in time and he can't change anything. Okay, do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Okay, so I think it would be cool if Luke was doing that. Like he kind of goes back in time, so he disappears from here. He's not like maybe he didn't travel back in time to change events past, but he can see something.
Like learning about stuff.
Yeah, something. He can see his dad, or he can see the Emperor. Maybe you hear
maybe
the Emperor's
see
laugh.
Snoke.
You can see Snoke. He does something
actually, that's not bad.
in the past.
It's actually
so
pretty
he
good.
goes away like a different plane or whatever, but then he comes back. So that's where he was. You get the movie starts off with him doing that, learning something very important, and then he comes back and he's alive. Boom.
Muy importante.
Y messenger no es importante. That shit was freaky.
Fuck yeah, it was, bro. Actually, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
That would check some boxes for me.
So I don't know if there's so both of those scenarios, his, Jason's, and yours, I could live with in terms of how I view the trilogy. But Luke would go back to being a schmuck for me.
Well, I think he he cut himself off from the Force, so he became kind of weak. If he comes back, reconnects himself with the Force, it's like almost like a ritual. He goes back in time or whatever. He has a vision where he's like literally moved from a different plane. That's why you see his robes fall. But he comes back, he's juiced and he's acrobatic, he becomes a Jedi again, and all the Yoda crap when Yoda was all old and stuff. He's just jumping around, going nuts. That would be dope. I'd be happy with that.
I don't think I want that. I'd be okay with him going back in time and learning shit and that.
So you want him to be weak when he comes back, even though
I don't want him to come back.
You don't want him to come back.
Period.
Well, okay. Well, that wasn't the question though. I don't want him to come back either. To be honest with you,
Okay.
They killed him. I don't want him to come back. But if they had to come back, he needs to be dope. He needs to be more powerful than any
numerous creatures.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, him just going back through time would make him more powerful. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't need him to do force flips to set that in stone. To me, it'd be like, well, the fact that he was able to do this and go back through
him
time.
projecting himself is incredible. Nobody has ever done that.
1,000%.
And I'm actually okay with that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
You think you should have killed him?
No, I don't. The more you draw on the Force, it doesn't kill you. It's not like you take a drug and you're like hyped up like you're on something. I mean, you draw on the Force and it makes you stronger.
I don't think it killed him.
It can heal you. You don't get weak from it necessarily. I mean, you have to rest like a regular person, but it's...
Did Vader kill Obi-Wan?
No. He technically got hit by the lightsaber, but I don't really think so. Obi-Wan just disappeared because there wasn't even a mark on his...
Correct.
On his,
that's what I think happened with Luke. It was a decision.
Yeah, exactly. He left.
Yeah. I think that either of those I'd be okay with.
But Obi-Wan did die. or whatever you want to say.
Correct,
Yeah.
but he wasn't. But the Force didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But like there's a difference for me for
Also, they wanted that PG rating in 1977.
maybe there's a
No,
they
off
got
the
away
dude's
with more
arm
shit
with
though
the blood
too.
all over
Yeah,
with the
Yeah,
bar
but it
scene.
was-
and
oh,
Greeno
yeah.
getting shot and smoked.
that's true. There's a difference to me between it being okay and working for the trilogy. See, because and just like I've never been a huge Luke fan, but Last Jedi made me a huge Luke fan for the first time ever. So like, Luke will just go back to being what he was before to me if he comes back in the flesh.
But he's a quarter of the Force. If Anakin is half Force, basically, right? Because his mom was his, Shmi, and he's half Force. That means he's at least a quarter Force or whatever. So he should be incredibly powerful compared to anyone else.
Are you telling me that he's powerful?
Huh? Yes, I'm telling.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling Shmi. I'm telling Shmi. But no, seriously, he's quarter Force, if you want to say it. So he should be wildly powerful. I mean, that's why he was a threat to the Emperor, because he's like if the offspring of Anakin Skywalker wasn't coming about, he'd be a threat to everything. Everything.
Well,
Think about all the technology, how powerful the Emperor was, how powerful Vader is, and they're like worried about this one dude.
Oh, I'm
that's
not
like 16
saying
years old.
I'm not saying that any of those things negate the possibility for him to come back somehow in a physical form. I'm just saying for me, I go back to feeling about him how I've always kind of felt about him, which is just he's fine.
Yeah.
So the answer to mine is that it can save it, story wise. It doesn't necessarily ruin the trilogy for me, but it does detract from how I feel about Luke at this moment. Because at this moment, he's like top 5 characters for me in Star Wars, whereas he's never been that for me.
I guess this will have to be a conversation for another day. It's like, how can you not be a huge fan of Luke if you read all those books? I mean, he's starting the New Jedi Order.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if any listeners watching, if you've played the video games, the Jedi Outcast games, whoever it is, KRYPTON or whatever, goes to see Luke, and Luke's all calm, and he's the Jedi Master. He's the new Yoda. I mean, he's incredibly powerful in the books. I mean,
I don't think it's power necessarily that makes me like a character.
I know, but the way you talk about him just sounds like you're like, oh, he's an average Jedi. He's an average person.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just his character. Like his character never really appealed when we were kids. When you went outside and played Star Wars, it was always who was going to be Han and who was going to be Luke. And as a kid, I always wanted to be Han.
Yeah, Han's dope.
Like I never had any. I never thought Luke was cool.
Really? Oh my gosh! See, I'm
Yeah.
a huge
So is your
Return of
brother.
the Jedi fan. So it's just that solidified it. Even his fucking lightsaber sounds better when it's coming out than everyone else's. I mean, it does. No, if you listen
So to speak.
Anakin, that's a good conversation. Favorite lightsaber ignition,
Dooku's and Luke's are the same. If you listen to them, and I challenge that.
or let's say scene, or the overall.
I know what you're going to say.
What? It might be surprising to you.
Master Skywalker?
What? Yeah, that was pretty good. Mine's
when,
definitely Anakin's.
When R2D2
blade,
knocks it in the air, and then
he
he's
catches
just
it on the
boom,
skiff.
it's like, and he looks at it. He's like, "This thing's fucking badass."
and then he turns it on, and
And
it's
he
like
starts-
30 feet long.
Yeah,
Have you like?
Yeah.
He like swings across the skiff. It like hits the guy on the other skiff.
Yeah, he can change the bullet thing.
Oh yeah,
Fine.
just that one time.
that was a conversation we used to have when we were younger. Like, oh, what if we could change how long our lightsaber was to make
But I
it,
think
know-
you can in the canon.
Well, I don't know if you. Yeah, I mean, they make whips out of it in the books and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, Lamia.
Yeah.
I think that my favorite sound of a lightsaber turning on in any of the movies is, oddly enough, 7 when Finn turns it on. It's
No, it does. That doesn't make any noise. It's like.
no, it definitely does.
It does not make the snap hiss.
It's
The snap
I
hisses.
think
They literally in every. If you read, and I'm not even talking about the.
it's
books that are
something.
not
It's
canon,
something
like
about
the
it.
snap
Because
hiss.
it's dead quiet, and it's the first time you've heard it turn on. And
Bobby, that's the only time in the entire series that a lightsaber doesn't sound like a lightsaber.
It's something about it.
I will put it all together in a YouTube, and it'll be like.
but I'm not. But
all
don't
these things, and then the
don't get lost in the details. It's something about all of it. It's the moment of silence. It's the vibe. It's the fact that you get to see it turned
That
on.
doesn't belong to you.
Oh my god, Bobby!
That That I like that scene a lot.
Shouldn't
too.
even be holding the damn thing. So you should have
No,
to be,
no, but see,
you should
I'm
have to
not-
be
I'm not
force
debating
sensitive to,
that.
like, there should be no power source for a lightsaber. The reason that like it just doesn't go away is because you should have to be force sensitive in order to wield it. Han shouldn't have been able to wield it.
That's a separate fucking.
I know it's a.
conversation.
I know. I don't like it. I hate Finn using it. It's an embarrassment. He has
Doesn't
no
bother me.
training. Okay, fine. That's your opinion. That's the best Star Wars sound, or the best lightsaber sound. I'm just shocked.
I also like when Maul turns the double one on for the first time.
yeah.
It's like it's a moment.
Dude, for me, it's Yoda.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Become
It's-
more
it's the fact
powerful
that
than any Jedi.
He grabs it from across the belt.
Yeah.
Like because he could have not put so much drip on it. You know what I mean?
Tons of sauce on that
Like,
unit.
he could have just grabbed it with this hand. It could have just like he could have just unclipped it. It's
Yeah.
the fucking drip.
And
It's like
because he moved his.
it's like playing big bass when you're playing fucking big bass and you got like it makes the same sounds.
But the thing
you got
is-
one hand all the way up here and you got one hand. It's the drip. So like when he's doing it, he's like, "Look, I want you to see it."
Because
Yeah,
he's so
and
powerful,
he
doesn't
uses
need
his
to unclip this.
he uses that hand to move back the rope. He's like, I don't need to do this,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And didn't it ignite before it hit his hand?
No,
Let's go. Let's go to
No.
videotape.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. But like it's
Because his hand, it hits his hand. His hand goes like this. It's
Yeah.
like a jerk.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of added
What'd it
that in
do?
some of the like.
What?
You know what I'm talking about.
Do you remember when they played off the Spider-Man trailer for that?
Because
'cause, like,
Spider-Man trailer.
Spider-Man was hitting the same year as Attack of the Clones.
Oh.
It was either Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2. And they were like, it had the Spider-Man font like coming in, and it was like, this summer, make sure you see the biggest action hero. And then it cut to Yoda.
Oh, I don't remember. But no, that sounds cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, we still.
Can you play
yeah.
Fins so I can cringe?
Oh, yeah.
But no, if that's your favorite, it's your favorite. I just
It's not, it's one of. It's top 5 for me.
boom. God.
All right, turn it off, man. You're going to fucking get us flagged.
It's fine. I'm getting Finn, man.
I know. Just find it.
Jesus Christ.
Like Disney's definitely gonna get us. I fucking
Yeah, I thought there doesn't there have to be a certain amount of seconds of music
dude. There's
playing?
no fucking consistency.
Oh god, and yeah. You know what? Even if it's like next year, if someone's listening, they're like, "Oh, did we change the laws on how long you can play the
And like,
music?"
if you hear that shit like on like a system and the fucking bass is like shaking your fucking chest on that Finn one, it's like it sounds powerful.
The oscillator's been damaged.
Just it doesn't make the proper noise.
It's the worst thing.
It's like the lightsaber knew it was someone that wasn't force
that one
sensitive
thing when
holding
he's like, you want to say it, Akbar. That level of power, is it a magnitude or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro. That's how it's.
Man, I wish I brought my friggin' vape now.
Yeah, you should have.
I know. I
Are you ready? You ready?
He should just say like, "You have one." What? What was?
it doesn't sound.
What was that sound, Aaron?
It has a. It has
Aaron,
like
was
an
that a-
extra bell in
Was
it.
that a snap hiss?
Play Luke's?
Can you
play
get,
Luke's and then
No,
we'll listen?
I need you to get that dog and walk it all the way home. That you let off the chain.
It doesn't sound. It has a. It has a
has
wobble
a-
to it.
it
Maybe
has
that's
a-
what I'm talking about. The wobble is like
But
every time
that
I hear it,
shit
I'm like
on
it's a bell.
That shit on a system, it like shakes
Because it has
your
a
soul.
bass. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's probably if you're sitting on a couch. I can understand that having the subwoofer sitting on the damn subwoofer. Yeah, I can.
Shaking all
It's
your
tingling
tingly
your
bits.
butthole. I get
What'd you
that.
say? Shaking all your
tingly
tingly bits.
I do Luke lightsaber sound. Green one.
Calm down.
The green one. Damn
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Luke's. All right, not Anakin's. Not Ray's. Now it's Ray's.
There's too many lightsaber scenes.
Did you know that Anakin's panicking next to mannequins?
I don't even know what that means.
What does it mean?
There's this guy who did like this whole bit where he was imitating Eminem. He's like, Anakin panicking with mannequins, with a bunch of napkins.
Play
Cardboard boxes.
play Luke assembling
Here
lightsaber
you go.
scene
Here
cut.
you go.
cut
Here
out.
you go. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I was born here, you know. You're gonna die here.
You know, it's convenient. Instead of a big dark blur, I see a
Yeah,
big
big
light
light.
blur.
You ready?
Turn it up. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, it gives me it.
I like that too. I like that too.
It just,
I don't,
you know,
I don't need to hate on yours to
gives
make me feel better about
It gives
mine.
me the tingles behind my ear every time I hear it.
It gets you here. It gets
does.
you right here.
Cooked peas do that to me,
You know
but
when
make
you're-
me want to vomit.
You know when you're watching something special and you get the what is that? What is the butterflies?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, yeah.
All right, so let's do this rapid fire.
Ooh, say it again. That's what it's like.
See, my kid loves Lion King. Yang King. She had this outfit on Easter. It was like a romper, had zebras all over it. She would come up to me and be like, hey, you know, she would point to, I see zebras.
All right, so the rules of this is just you say the first thing that comes
Just say
to
the
mind.
first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right, so he said, Joe, I'm going to have to ask you to relax. Robotech is great, but if you can explain Macross Delta to me, I'll take back everything I've said. As for 48 hours to Lethal Weapon, first round's on me. All right. Favorite Wayne's brothers, Keen and Ivory and Damon, or Sean and Marlon? Keen and Ivory and Damon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Damon.
Vampires or werewolves?
Vampires.
Worst comic Nazi, Hellboy or Captain America?
What?
What?
Worst comic Nazis.
Would
Oh,
be Skull,
like
the
the-
Red Skull.
Like it's the bad guys in
I'm
those
guessing,
books.
I'm guessing.
I would say the worst ones are Hellboy. I think Cap's Nazis were the real deal. He was punching Hitler in 1940.
Mark?
But do you concur? Do you concur, sir?
I can't remember that much about Hellboy. So
Me neither. Garth Ennis or
Garth.
don't know what that's from.
I think I have to choose Mark Millar, honestly. Only because, don't get me wrong, I love Garth Ennis, but I've told you sometimes his criticism of America pisses me off. Like,
But that has nothing to do with his writing.
sure it does, because a lot of his writing is just about criticizing American and American culture. Like I'm okay, like Preacher,
And Boys.
different, but like The Boys, it's just like, okay, dude, I get it. You think it's dumb.
Oh, dude, we didn't talk about the Boys trailer.
No, we didn't. We should have.
Yeah,
Looks great.
Looks
fucking perfect.
phenomenal. Yeah, spot on.
But I it's just like it's just like if you're from Owen Brown, like you can criticize Owen Brown, but like if you live in Oakland Mills, like I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say about Owen Brown. Like, you know,
Is this uniquely your criticism of it, or somebody else added some flavor onto this?
What do you mean?
Like, is it something like somebody said something, you'd be like, oh yeah.
See, you haven't read The Boys.
I read the first two books.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough.
I thought it got boring after book 3.
No, like around 5 or 6, it takes a dive when they explain the backstory of it all, and then
Yeah.
it comes back up in 7 and 8, and it's a good story. It's
Yeah.
just it just pisses me off these English. I'm just like, dude, like I don't like I don't know what your fucking bullshit and your
What
fucking.
if he's been an American for 20 years? Naturalized citizen for 20 years.
No, I'm committed now. Fuck them, Jim.
Fuck him, Jim.
Let's see. The next one is bacon or sausage. Bacon.
Sausage.
This is a hard one.
It switches every 6 months.
Dude, I'm with you right now.
We're genetically the same because I
Yeah.
switch between bacon, egg, and cheese
And
and sausage, egg, and cheese.
And I'm on a
Like,
sausage. I'm on a sausage kick right now.
There it is.
I'm with you on that too, and I'm more trusting of a restaurant's sausage, egg, and cheese than I am of their bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yes, because the bacon cannot work on that sandwich. Sometimes.
Correct. However, if I'm going to have one standalone, I would prefer bacon over sausage.
What do you have on your pizza? Bacon or sausage? If you had to have,
Sausage.
Yeah. Well, that's more classic to pizza though, so you can't.
yeah.
Really,
Are you having bacon and gravy or sausage and gravy?
I'm saying
I'm passing on both.
you have a BLT. You wouldn't have a sausage, lettuce, tomato. You know what I'm saying? It just
might.
would- I don't.
But
right
like-
now.
Have you ever?
But I'm not putting sausage bits on my Caesar salad.
Yeah. There you go. Yep.
I'm not putting.
Actually,
I'm not,
I've
and
done
I'm not
that.
putting sausage bits on my cheese fries. I'm not putting it on my cheese fries either.
Yeah, that's true. Like nacho.
No, like it's funny. Like I only like baked bacon or bacon bits, like crumbled
I hate
bacon.
baked bacon.
Oh, it's the best.
I hate it.
It's the
Say
best.
I hate
it's
it.
supposed. That's
So
how you
good.
get all the flavor, but I
Yeah,
don't think I've
so
ever
good.
shown
I
you
hate
how to
it.
properly
Wait
make
till
it.
Pam will make some. It's good.
I hate it. I don't care for it. There's people at my work that host breakfast from time to time, and if they do it, I'm out. I actually take control of bacon. I'm not
You're a
interested.
bacon Nazi.
I am a bacon Nazi.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna edit that. Like Bobby Skullface said, I am a Nazi. Baroness or Scarlet? Baroness.
Ooh.
Don't get me wrong. It's not as easy a choice as I make it
Yeah.
sound, but
I think
Baroness.
you like Baroness because she kind of looks like your wife.
and
too.
it's the all black, it's the
Yeah.
dark hair, it's
Yeah.
the black boots.
I'd actually have to go with Baroness as well because I prefer brunettes and redheads.
Don't even know what you guys are talking about.
It's from G.I.
G.I. Joe. No?
Baroness of Scarlet.
Better Samurai, Tom Cruise or Keanu Reeves?
Ooh,
Tom
Keanu
Cruise.
Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
I
You
say-
know why? Because he really practices.
You know why I'd say it? To
really
piss off Joe.
practices. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Because Joe would be like, yeah, but Keanu did really practice, so I'm going to give him credit. But like Tom Cruise didn't. He just fucking Scientology'd up and fucking went in there fucking Xenu'd out. Do you have an opinion on that one?
No, I do not.
Alfred
Do
Pennyworth.
you see John Wick at all? Any of the John Wicks?
I don't think I've watched the entire movie. So
Okay.
Alfred Pennyworth or Jarvis?
Alfred.
Alfred.
Jarvis.
Dumb. Demolition or Road Warriors? LOD. Demolition or Road Warriors LOD. I don't know what
What's
that
that
is.
mean?
I don't know what that is either.
Whitney Houston or Tina Turner?
Whitney Houston.
Whitney.
Spaghetti sauce, meat or no meat?
Meat.
No meat. Transformer siblings. Sideswipe and Sunstreaker or Darkwing and Dreadwing? Sideswipe and Sunstreaker.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that
yeah.
one.
Darkwing and Dreadwing was too far along when I hate to say it, but it didn't matter anymore. Stormtrooper or First Order Trooper?
Stormtrooper.
Shogun of Harlem or Lopan?
I don't know.
Show enough.
So I'm going with Shonuff. However, if it was Shonuff versus Raiden from the same movie,
True.
I'd go with Raiden.
Okay. Makes you see things other man can see.
No opinion.
Do things other man can do.
Chocolate or strawberry milk? Chocolate.
What? Chocolate? That's
Strawberry milk is disgusting.
Why
Why
you
isn't
just
there,
like cut these questions out? Whoever
Why-
asked that is
why
ridiculous.
Why isn't there peanut butter milk? How good would that be?
Now you like? I'm
it's too-
I'm more
too
particular
thick.
about my peanut butter.
How do you thin
I mean,
it out?
the same way you get chocolate milk. Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Chocolate
Made
can melt.
So can peanut butter.
I don't know.
I mean, chocolate is thicker than peanut butter because it's solid.
no, I don't think
Yes, it's even a harder bean.
you can't
that
melt.
it-
You can't melt peanut butter. I mean,
Yes, you can.
Heat it up. It just kind of stays the same consistency.
No, you make peanut sauce. You can cook peanut sauce and make it up. Peanut.
You know
soup.
what? We should. I want to see you make some of this stuff, and I want to see. I want to see you be able
All
to
right, God
put a
damn
shelf,
it.
Say peanut.
a
all
shelf
right,
life on it.
Say peanut sauce 3 times fast.
No.
Smurfs or Snorks? Smurfs.
Oh, you know what?
Smurfs, I
But that's a
guess.
great
You know
question.
what? You know what? I'm gonna go with Snorks because the one Snork that had 2 Snorks, it was super strong. He was tight.
Do. See, I don't even remember the Snorks one. The Snork.
I don't
whatever
remember.
they're called.
It wasn't bad though.
Romantic or horror comedy? Romantic.
Romantic for me. I hate this. I'm going to sound like a
Horror
fagula.
comedy. So like, Arachnophobia would be a horror comedy. What's
Yeah.
that? other good
Ghostbusters,
horror?
I guess.
It's a thriller comedy. It's different than
Yeah,
horror.
I don't even know horror
maybe.
comedy. What would it be? Like
Arachnopho-
Sweeney Todd or something?
That would be a horror comedy. Yeah.
What else would
I
be
can
one?
be. I mean, like, Frighteners.
Scary movie.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was with.
I'm gonna go with
what's his name?
romantic.
Me too.
Yeah.
What gets forgotten more, Car Keys or Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Car Keys.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre is like a fucking. He's out of here. Like I'm definitely going with Car Keys. People leave the Car Keys all the time.
I don't think
Car
anymore.
keys.
Motherfuckers just acting like they forgot about Dr. Dre. They still remember Dr. Dre. They're just acting. Motherfuckers just acting like they forgot about
Yeah,
Dr. Dre.
but I think Dr. Dre's like, oh yeah, Dr. Dre. Like you're missing your car keys, so you didn't forget about them. You might have misplaced them,
I don't know.
but you're always looking for them.
Austin Powers or Derek Flint?
Awesome powers.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Metallica or Megadeth?
Metallica.
Metallica.
However, there's a strong. So there's an argument.
The choice is made.
The choice is made,
travelers arrive.
But the argument is that you could argue that Megadeth has a more consistent and concise and well done catalog when compared to the amount of bullshit that Metallica put out after fucking Black Album.
dare you?
Prince, Let's Go Crazy, or The Time, Jungle Love. Let's Go Crazy.
I have to listen to them because it's been that long.
Or wait, you know what? Are we talking about just the songs or the albums associated? If it's just the songs, Jungle Love. Albums, I'll go with Prince.
I have no opinion on this.
Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai?
7 Samurai.
Magnificent Seven.
Go with the original.
I'm not mad at that. I've never seen it. I watched Magnificent Seven with my dad when I was a kid.
The
been a long
reboot.
time,
The
too.
reboot is not good.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's horrible. It's horse shit. I fucking hate it.
Cowboy and horse shit.
It's when Chris Pratt had too much.
The Wire or The Sopranos?
The Wire.
The Wire's better. I enjoy The Sopranos more.
I think The Wire is more consistent and more concise. It's only 4 seasons.
100%.
Yeah.
No, it's like 5. It's 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
It
Because
might be
of-
6. Shit, I don't know.
No, I think it's 5 because it was
Sopranos 6 or 7.
Sopranos. I think went to 8. I want to
Yeah,
say.
but that last season was kind of weak.
Well, the third season was weak too. Like, they had a couple weak seasons,
Yeah.
but I just enjoy. Like, I quote Sopranos more often. Like, I was just saying the other day, like, one of my favorite is when, because remember
Black
Janice was on assistance for some medical shit, and she's like, I am Tony, I'm all fucked up, and this, she was bullshit. It was fine.
Yeah.
And she was like, and she was talking about, I got money on my own. I got my own money, Tony. I'm not worried about your money. And Tony was like, oh, yeah? I'm surprised you can still handle your beggar's cup with your carpal tunnel. And that does it, I think, for this week's episode. We're getting ready to wrap up. One thing that we do is we have an
Do we
adjective.
have Star Wars rumors, though?
Oh, yeah. We got to get to that. So we're gonna,
Yeah.
but it's just to set you up, we do an adjective and then a part of the body.
So I say great tits.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody
So-
says flappy labia. Somebody says bleached butthole.
All right.
Somebody
so it
says tasty
doesn't,
taint.
doesn't have to be genitalia related. You can just get your wheels turning, okay?
And a part of the body.
Yeah. Part of the body. Adjective, part of the body.
Puckering retina. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. So, anyway, don't forget
It's
it.
actually kind of gross.
Yeah, don't forget it. So, all right, moving on to these
Feel free to explore in your mind while we go through this stuff.
to these Star Wars rumors, and most of them are sourced to making Star Wars. As a heads up, so
If you don't want to hear this,
yeah,
skip ahead.
Skip ahead.
100 seconds.
99, 98.
97.
One of the big heavy rumors is this: Han Solo will be in The Rise of Skywalker.
No one's really gone.
The main sequence takes. This is the notes of it. Okay, let me say the notes of it. The main
Okay.
sequence take place between Adam Driver and Harrison Ford. One source called it a surprise intervention of sorts. A source that did not work on or see the sequence believed it takes place when Kylo Ren asks the burned Darth Vader helmet to show him the darkness again. Luke Skywalker appears to be the twist in the encounter. The source was paraphrasing, but Han Solo tells Ben Solo it isn't too late, and the sequence has a tone of forgiveness and understanding to it. He's not a Force ghost. He's part of a vision or dream type moment induced by Luke Skywalker.
So you're saying, how do we feel about this, or what?
Your
what's the-
opinion,
Yeah.
whatever.
Not interested. Han's dead. I don't care. I don't want to see everyone that died just because of the whole Plagueis laugh or Emperor laugh, and Luke saying that none of us really go away. Like, okay, I get that time and space. Go back in time. It's a lot. Everyone's alive at some point. Blah blah blah. I don't need to see everyone who died come back alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessary.
So if, like I said, if it was a Force ghost or something like that, I'm fucking out.
He's not a Jedi.
Correct. If he came back to life somehow, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
But if
If it
what
is,
you're
a-
saying,
if it is
like a vision induced by Luke in the same way that Snoke induced visions, like I'm okay with
but
that.
if it's Han's spirit, like if it is his ghost, it's not a Force ghost per se, but Luke can manifest like to the spirit.
no, I don't like that either.
Yeah, that's just opening a whole can of worms. In the
I
whole
agree.
universe.
I like that.
I think it's trash.
I like the idea of it just being an induced vision, almost.
But
like
then it's not really Han.
yeah,
Then it's just Luke looking like Han.
correct.
And
It's
I
not
don't like-
Luke. No, it's not Luke looking like Han. It's Luke making a Han.
Well,
Basically,
Luke
Well,
accessing
regardless,
a
yeah.
memory and just having the memory trigger.
Well, but
Kylo
if
Ren,
but if it's a
okay.
memory, or if it's Han's giving him new info, if it's Han having a conversation with Kylo that never happened before, so Luke
Yeah,
is just
that's-
making
I
a
don't
Han avatar. Let's use that term, and it's bullshit. It's not
okay
really
with
Han.
but I'm okay with it.
All right,
I guess it's just a tool in the toolbox to me. Like it's
just
it doesn't
trickery?
bother me.
it's wizard trickery.
You just said wizard. You're getting into like a magical
Wizard trickery.
realm where the Force is
That's why I don't like
exactly
it.
magic. I
don't
don't
like it.
like spells and all that stuff in Star Wars.
Wizard
Like,
trickery.
He's
casting illusions.
The mind trick, and you can the
I
dark
was
side
going
of
to
the
say
Force.
like
you can
there's
have,
a lot of tricks used with the Force in Star Wars.
I know, but I don't like them turning into like a kind of magical thing. So making
think it's too late for
making
that.
visions of stuff. I just don't
like the EU, the Clone Wars used a lot of it as magic.
I know, but that stuff's dumb.
You love the EU.
What do you mean EU?
Like the like the New Jedi Order and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
like that, but I don't
There's
like
a
the
lot
Clone,
of there's
like the Clone Wars
but there's a
cartoons.
lot,
and
but that's
stuff,
not
where-
EU. There's a lot of magic shit in that.
I know, and I don't like the magic parts. Like
okay.
Bane's apprentice, who was like putting spells on people. I don't like that. I just don't. If people like that, that's fine. I just don't personally like it. I don't want it to be a magic. I don't want it to be like Harry Potter. You know what I mean? The Force is different than magic.
I agree.
So
I agree.
When they start using spells and all that stuff, the mind trick is very simple. To get someone to do something, and if you're powerful enough, you could even kind of mind trick a Jedi. But when you're starting to use spells to hallucinate, which is what Bane's apprentice was doing, that's just getting too far because she's wiggling her fingers and doing all this stuff, and it's beyond the simple gesture.
That's for me. I hear you. But for me, that's way too like okay, a gesture's fine, a wiggle's not. You know what I mean?
She was like moving her hands around.
I don't
She's,
draw.
Like, casting
I don't.
a spell like Hadouken. I mean, she's just doing all this stuff.
To me, there's more.
She was airbending.
The Force is more subtle. It's like you push, you pull, whatever. But when you're doing the whole.
Subtle.
Yeah, when you're air bending or water
When you're doing
bending.
finger magic.
Yeah, I mean seriously, that's what I'm saying. That's all. It's like
I don't think.
leave
And I
that
don't
and-
think a push is subtle either.
it's not
think
subtle.
it's blatant.
But that's just. I'm saying.
I think
It's
you're
just
seeing
a push.
it's
if I push him like that, you,
it's gross motor skills is the way he's saying.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree.
This is gross motor skills.
No, not with that, Adam.
Okay.
Don't focus on wider story. There's little moments where you can watch Qui-Gon, especially with the Gungans,
Yeah.
do super minor
Yeah.
stuff, not blatant.
Even Luke when he just
Super-
leans into to
Super
stuff, I mean.
minor Force shit that he's doing in Episode 1. Like, I don't draw any hard lines, I guess, like that. Like
Okay, so okay, let me rephrase this. When it comes to mind trick stuff, I don't. You'll bring Captain Soul and the Wookiee to me. Just this little subtle thing. It's fine. But when you start casting spells and wiggling your fingers and just it gets too much into
I
a
know what you're
magical
talking-
system.
hey.
I don't really know how else to explain it.
I mean, I hear you. I understand, and I can appreciate where you're coming from. I would prefer nothing as super exaggerated as what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that would really bother me.
So let me just recap. If it's a Force Ghost Han, we all agree that's shit.
Stupid.
If it's Luke tapping into the spirit realm and bringing Han Solo's ghost up,
Stupid.
that's
The
stupid.
netherworld
Right.
is-
So the only way that you're
to
cool
say.
with it is if he's just manipulating Kylo to see Han, although Han isn't
In
there.
any way, whether it's a memory or a vision.
Okay. But so if it's a memory, that's the only way I'd be cool with. He's remembering something. But if it's Luke like making a Han puppet or Han avatar, I have an issue with that. I don't like how that tastes. So I'm out.
If it's that.
Yeah. The only way it could be, the only thing that would work is a memory. That's the only way it could work for me. Anything else, I'm out.
Next thing, I've heard a couple of things, interesting things. I think Kylo kind of dies. But there's a twist to that, and I don't think it's forever. I think Rey does something and it takes Kylo out, but I don't know if it's bad for Kylo or good, if it's part of his plan or not. That reminds me of Jason Solo.
That is vague.
Well, yeah, all of this shit is vague because this is like the sources are so like.
You got to be careful too.
That's something we always go back and forth on. Then they go
Was
on.
Jason like killed and brought back to life?
No, he dies, but it was part of his plan.
Yeah, and his last, vision is he's talking to his daughter. It was like a sense of love for his daughter, and that's what they all feel through the Force, and then expect it because he was evil, but he really wasn't. Kind of, I don't know.
He turned evil to unite the galaxy.
Yeah, kind of like what Emperor
He
wanted.
self-sacrificed.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
but kind of like the Emperor had a plan. And remember when the Yuzon Vong came? They're like,
You
well,
die a
if the
hero,
Emperor,
or you live alone.
if the Empire was around, they would have had the technology and the setup to destroy the Yuzon Vong or something like that. It was a galactic empire. It was one empire where
Yeah.
all the power was concentrated, and the Emperor had absolute power, and that was kind of what Cadus was trying to do.
Some say he had
unlimited.
unlimited power.
But at the time of Cadus or Cadus, like
Cadus, I don't even know how to say it.
I always said Cadus, but I heard somebody say Cadus is the right way. But so I'm just saying it for the listeners, not for you. But the rebellion, or not the rebellion, but the Republic was so split at the time
Right.
between the Corellians and the rest of the galaxy,
Screwed
and
them
then
up. It's like-
and that he was turning evil to like unite them against
Yeah.
the common foe. Like that was always awesome, like poetic.
I
to
liked
me.
it. Yeah.
So that's why it reminds me of that. But he says, then they go on to talk opinion that Han and Kylo, and there's something that calls back to the Han death scene that they believe is tied to Jason. Not that Jason, but the other Jason. Speculating, like the guy who's writing it, speculating in previous podcasts that Kylo's ultimate plan, motivations for turning will be revealed.
I feel like Kylo Ren doesn't have the foresight. He's way too, is the right word petulant? I don't even know. He's too spontaneous to have like a plan. He's just not that kind of a dark side user, in my opinion. You know, he's too young, so I don't think he'll have a plan at all.
Let's see.
Yeah, he does. He does
to die or what to do anything really.
Yeah, I think it has been kind of. His character's always like make it up as he goes along,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, but the thing we've always gone back and forth on is, you know, even you and I,
If he's doing that to trick Snoke,
if Han is turning the blade on and shit like
Oh,
that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if
But that's-
how much of that does Kylo want to kill him at that moment and all of that shit, like the.
Well, didn't somebody correct us on that though? Like in the book that it said Kylo hits a switch or something. Something happened.
I have to say Kylo killed him. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, we argued at one point.
You and I
Not
talked about it.
that we
No,
argued. We
yeah,
didn't argue.
not
But I mean,
about
we
that.
debated like not debated against each other. Just
The concept.
concept. Like, did Han kill himself? Like taking that away from Kylo, saying like, I'm not going to allow you to kill me. I'll kill myself, sacrificing himself to leave room for Kylo to, save himself.
he had a look of surprise on his face that I remember.
I hear you. I hear you.
Like,
Could have been-
Probably,
could have
you're
been
probably
from-
like, oh, that hurts.
Could have been from pain.
from pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's the case, but also like the idea of whether or not Kylo wanted to do that, whether it was
Or Snoke manipulating or whatever.
or if he was like, I have to do this in order to get to this. Like,
Yeah, we talked about this as
This
well,
is the
yeah.
one moment that I have to fucking see through. Like, and I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just saying there's always been something about that scene that people have questioned.
So, in one of my many issues with The Last Jedi is like, I think Kylo would have been so infinitely more interesting if at that time, after he took out Snoke, if there was more of a like, I'm taking it out of a whole new door instead of just replacing Snoke. You know what I mean? Like it's just such a cliche of like, it comes back to that Sith, like,
Well, I don't know.
the master, and we don't know.
Vacuum of power. He had to take Snoke
Did he?
place. Or,
Did he?
Yeah, because what he was
he
gonna
could
get-
he could have gone with
But
Rey.
I don't know if he was.
know?
I don't know if
He could have done his own thing.
I don't know if he considered being what Snoke was. I think he wanted that position and the kind of bonuses,
resources?
that
Yeah.
come with that
He
position.
wants to rule the galaxy. That's what.
Because I think that like it all is said for him in that phrase before, like it's time for old things to end.
Yeah.
The Jedi, the Sith, Snoke, all of it.
But he could have been like, I killed Snoke because he was weak, and now you're going to follow me because I'm strong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He had to manipulate the situation in order to
And
kill Snoke.
and I
So
always
he-
get the impression that the fucking First Order is Hux's army.
Well, Hux was like Hux was like Tarkin to the Emperor, and Tarkin was like, say Vader cut it out. So Hux was kind of above Kylo, but he was, but Kylo's Snoke's apprentice. So that's exact. They
It
copied
comes down
that
to the
verbatim. Hux was
the military
Tarkin.
versus the political shit
Yeah.
we talked
Yeah.
about before.
So
And it's very muddy because
Yeah.
we're trying to project our own sense of
you
government.
have like the president, you have the vice president, but then you have a general. So
Mm-hmm.
the general doesn't listen to the
It's like span of control. Like
the vice president. What do you
Yeah.
want to call it?
yeah. I'm with you.
Master, apprentice, and then general. So
Force flat. So this is the last one, right? This is the last big rumor that's been popping around, and that's regarding this battle between Kylo and Rey and these Force flashes.
No.
force flashes. What do you mean by that?
So it's referring to a fight.
She
that
takes off her
place.
clothes,
Yeah.
robes.
Dude, I just got more excited.
She's hot.
That's the subtitle to that. Dreading. The idea seems to be that their emotional tie and increased power makes it so that Snoke is no longer necessary. Unclear if honestly, also unclear if this is speculation.
Say that again.
So, like the person that said this, the source, they're unsure if this is their speculation or a report.
Okay.
On the increased power makes it so that Snoke is no longer necessary. for them to force bond, like have this force connection.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying they still have a connection, even though Snoke's
they have
gone,
them.
even though Snoke said, like,
yes.
I was the one who bridged your minds. And all that stuff.
Yes.
See, I think Snoke is lying there.
I don't think
He's
so.
full-
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I got my theories all fitting together.
In his mind, he thinks it.
Talk to me. I am, bitch.
It could be. It could,
I'm a woman
could
now.
be right.
In his mind, he thinks it might be like the force backs, but with more control. But this part is more speculative. The locations would include all of 9's episodes, or no, all 9 episodes. It mentions that the Force Awakens flashback was originally changed because JJ did not want it to look like a greatest hits reel. The Flash fighting, they did some underwater shooting for it, which they're saying might be for the Flash fighting, like as an effect. Like it's not really underwater. They did it for the weightlessness of the fight.
Is that the whole Death Star underwater thing that I read about, or someone?
So
some kind of mention about that. And I didn't like this.
So
is
when
where
the
it stopped.
so when the filming, the underwater filming came out, and then the trailer came out, they speculated that the fight was going to take place in the water there. But now they're saying that because of this force fight thing that happens,
It's just for the zero.
it
So
might
are they
be
just-
for the effect.
Are they just meditating and fighting each other's minds?
It doesn't say. It doesn't have enough
Is that
details.
what that
It's
means?
all like they might be fighting, and like while they're fighting, like the places they're fighting is changing. Is what it seems like.
Oh, okay, that would be
That's
interesting.
kind of interesting.
Which is they're basically just taking the end of episode 3 where Obi-Wan and Anakin were kind of indoors, and then they're outdoors, and then they're climbing stuff, and they're jumping on stuff, then they're on the floating things.
Except that this is like a little bit more abstract, is what it seems to me.
Yeah, like
Like
you're
they're
on
on this
Tatooine,
world.
then you're on
Correct.
You know.
Dagobah.
Yeah.
And then you're on whatever.
yeah,
Hey,
Kashyyyk
So, is there any?
fighting in the trees.
Was there any?
With one Wookiee going,
Was there any other? Was there ever a force power? Remember, like Peter in Heroes, how he just had to be around somebody, absorb their power.
Yeah.
Was there ever a force power where people absorbed force skills from other people?
No, the only thing would be the opposite, which is like battle meditation, which you basically project your skills out to like
Right.
a battle, so you can. It's basically playing like Warcraft 3, and you're kind of the Jedi, but you're the the person controlling all the characters, and you can basically change their minds and kind of show them, give them a sense of what's over the hill, even though they don't know, because you can kind of see everything. But that's the opposite power. But no, so no, not that I know.
Because I think like one thing that would be kind of cool. It is kind of a. It's too much of a plot device, but I think it's kind of cool just because it's a power we haven't ever been. But like when she Jedi mind melds with people, she like gains their skills.
I mean, so
and that's why at the end she's so fucking powerful at the Last Jedi, because she's just been fucking Snoke had been digging in her brain for the last hour, and now she can move multiple. Because I mean they talked about before, like you might be able to pick up this rock. You might not be able to pick up this boulder, but you might not be able to pick up this grain of sand.
Luke in the books, and I know it's not canon. Luke's helps Jaina fight Jason with the Force, like gets into her mind and starts to kind of control her. They imply that, but again, that's the opposite. So you could have if they added something like that to this movie, you could.
but most of it was
meld your minds,
the
like
Fett
all
training,
different.
though, right?
See, I don't remember that. Adam was talking about that, and I do not remember Boba Fett training Jaina.
No,
at all.
it's. I'm not sure if it's Boba. I think it is Boba Fett, but it
Yeah,
could have
it
been.
is.
Boba Fett had a kid also, but
Yeah, I
like
remember.
she goes to him because she thinks he's the only one that knows how to kill a Jedi,
Yeah.
and he trains her in.
I mean, yeah,
Like he's on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
Bloodlines or something. Let me get it.
I don't remember, and I read them all. I'm like, I remember.
Oh, it's the one I don't fucking have in hardcover.
I remember the
Son of a bitch.
the Boba Fett book where he goes to Mandalore and all that stuff. I just don't remember
Yeah,
Jaina
it's like a
and
big
him
part of it.
in there.
I do want something to kind of explain why she is the way she is, like on the power level.
I don't feel like she's as powerful as people make her out to be.
She just doesn't have any training, so that's what the biggest thing is.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
then people are like, she doesn't have any training. How is she fighting? And it's like, well, she obviously in Force Awakens, they show she's been fighting all of her fucking life. Like she fights those two guys with the staff,
Yeah, but
and she fucking beats two fucking dudes.
Learning how to do the bow staff is not learning how to use the sword or the sai. I mean, if you take kung fu, every single form, everything has a different kind of thing.
I agree, but the problem is that we assume that Kylo knows how to fight and she doesn't. But we don't even know what type of training Luke was teaching them. If there was any sort of offensive training at all. Because I get the impression that Luke was on some monk shit.
Okay, that's possible, but Jedi's move faster and everything like that. I mean, I don't. I can say when people are shooting at Kylo, it doesn't seem he can deflect it. But is that because his lightsaber's uneven, or is it because he doesn't know how to deflect? So I don't know.
Well, I mean, the style. I think that it also comes to do with the choreography. So are you saying that? Are you saying that?
I feel like we're getting off on
Rey
tangents,
didn't need training, or didn't? What are you trying to say right there?
So oftentimes when people talk about how she seems to be so powerful without any training, they talk about her fighting Kylo in the snow.
Okay.
And
Kylo's injured. But
Kylo's injured, for one.
Okay.
We don't know that Kylo is trained in fighting. And we know that Rey knows how to fight because she was fighting before she started any training. I get the impression that on Jakku, she's been fighting all of her life.
Okay,
there's more evidence to suggest that Rey has done more fighting than Kylo.
Her fighting Kylo at the end of The Force Awakens and kind of beating him after he's injured and all that stuff doesn't bother me because I think before that Finn cuts his arm, which is ridiculous.
I mean,
as well.
he took a fucking crossbow to the fucking chest.
A crossbow that they established blows people
blows
fucking 20 feet back.
Okay, so I'm not worried about her.
I'm not worried about that either.
But
a lot of people
him with
do.
the lightsaber, but I'm saying all of her other Force abilities, moving rods, using the Jedi mind trick. I just don't see how she got that. I mean, Anakin was the chosen one. He's half Force. He had all these years of training, and he still couldn't beat Obi-Wan.
Decades.
Decades. You're correct.
Yeah.
So the Jedi mind trick is the one that always sat funny with me.
No, well, when she's holding all those rocks up.
No,
for God's sake,
wait. From Force Awakens, because
Okay,
people
Force
were making this argument when Force Awakens was out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. The her using the Jedi mind trick. I mean, Luke was
But what
16
else?
years old. Like he didn't know anything about the Jedi. He didn't know how to do anything. He has his lightsaber, and it isn't for 3 movies until he can actually use the damn thing. And he still gets shot in the hand.
No, he uses it in the next movie.
No, I'm talking about the original trilogy. He
Yeah,
used
in the
it to,
original
like,
trilogy, he uses it in the second movie.
to open up an
To
AT&T.
fight Vader.
Oh yeah, at the end, you're right. Yeah, but he still sucked. I mean, he didn't have any kind of training. He got decimated
And Vader
by
wasn't
Vader.
Vader wasn't trying to kill him.
It's also the most powerful Sith, arguably. Well,
No.
you know what I mean? So like it's
Okay.
but it's not like he's just unskilled with it. It's not like he's a mess. He's not.
Yeah, but he's
wielding it.
Yeah, but he's also been training with Yoda.
Yeah, with a lightsaber.
I mean, we don't know.
You assume if he goes to Dagobah.
So why is it? So that's my thing. Is like, why is it that we can say, well, we don't know, just because we didn't see it, we don't know.
We know
we can assume, but why can't we assume?
We know that he's
he
been
was
training with
training
Yoda.
with Obi-Wan with the floaty thing on the.
So that's enough.
No, I'm not saying
But
that, but they
there's
imply that years kind of go by.
I don't get that implication. I don't
necessarily.
necessarily get that.
Well, years have
implication.
definitely
You don't
gone by
feel like-
between episode 4
but
and
that he
episode
was
5.
yes, but not that he was training with a lightsaber.
He was
That's not
training
implied.
in episode 4 in The New Hope. He was training to learn how to not use his eyes. I mean,
Okay, so
that's
8
something.
seconds. Is it
And
8 seconds? I'm just asking. What is the bottom
8
line? How much do
seconds
you need?
in the movie?
So you need 8 seconds of movie.
I'm saying 8 seconds
establish
of
a
movie.
pattern.
Yeah, I mean, the movie. You're saying that like all that's happened in real time happened in the movies. Clearly, that is not
No,
true.
I'm saying if we just use what we see in the movies as evidence,
Yeah.
there's no more
There's-
evidence to suggest that Luke is a better fighter than Rey. There's actually more evidence to suggest that Rey is a better fighter than Luke. If we just use what we see on screen.
Because she cold clocked somebody who wasn't paying attention.
2 people.
Yeah, but
No, and she fights them both.
Okay, her fighting is one thing. We're talking about her force abilities to okay. Let's just say just to mind trick. Like how does she just know how to do that?
I already agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, let's just.
But when people talk about her, they don't say, well, it's really just the mind trick thing.
I think right from the because
I think
there's so many movies out now or so much
But this was
screen
happening.
time with
This
her.
was happening during 7.
No,
this isn't new.
I know it's not new. I'm saying like, but that's
but it
why,
has gotten worse though.
Yeah, there you go.
Arguably, but
Yeah.
so let's apply the same thing. So she's training with Luke.
Okay.
Like, why can't it be implied that she's picked some shit up there?
Because at some point
she
she's
had-
swinging her lightsaber
well, she-
at a rock, and
She's not. Well, she's not training with Luke. She's
She is
walking.
training. They
Wait, let
train.
me finish. She's walking with Luke to try to get him to train.
Yeah, he
goes through one
said
lesson,
3 lessons.
but he never gets to the third
Right?
one. Right?
He says 3 lessons, but he never does them
Yeah.
all.
So what was
I'd have to watch it again.
What's
but
the first lesson? Like he smacks her hand with a leaf
to feel, to reach out and feel.
Yeah. So that's the first one.
Okay.
Right, and then what was the second? Did he have
She's
anything
swinging
else?
her lightsaber and she's hitting this rock and.
But he wasn't doing that. But what is cool? See, now I want to go back to this. What is cool is that her movements were the exact same as Kylo's when he was fighting Luke later. Like they've paired her.
I haven't seen the YouTube video.
They've paired her with that rock and Kylo fighting Luke like next to each other, and it's actually all the same thing. When she cuts in half is when.
Oh yes.
he cuts Luke's in.
I have seen the YouTube video.
You know that is interesting. And what I'm saying is like I don't have a problem with how powerful she is as long as there's an explanation. I don't think that we've got it yet. So if it comes, like I go back, I hate to default back to this, but if it comes back that she has the ability to tap into other Force users' powers and gain their skills, like she can like photocopy their shit. That's kind of cool. It's a new
What
thing.
if she's a Skywalker?
George Lucas.
If she's Anakin reincarnated or the next carnation of the Force, I'm good with that too.
What if she's Luke's daughter? What if she's Leia's daughter?
He's like, who are you? How does he not know who the hell she is?
I'm asking, what if? Not to explain it. I'm saying, is that enough?
Or maybe she's a reincarnation.
It's better.
No.
It's better.
Hold on.
See,
hold
to
on.
me, it's because sometimes it seems like it's. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like it's not necessarily that a element of why is explained. It's whether or not it's explained the way you want it to be.
Because we establish certain patterns in the mythology of the show.
Yeah. Vader's
Right?
like, let me complete your training. Emperor's like, let
Vader
me complete
is
your
an
training.
immaculate conception baby.
Yeah, he's Jesus.
Like he's baby Jesus. He's Gilgamesh. He's all
Agreed.
You know, the story of the fatherless child or whatever is something. It's a trope that.
What about Ghostface Killer? He was a motherless child.
There you go. Same thing.
Well, to be fair, sometimes he felt like a motherless child. He doesn't actually say.
and you know, and even Anakin, you know, he had some, you know, he saw things before they happened. He's super fast. His reflexes are super fast. You know, he was super mechanical. He had these skill sets. So
Oh, he was super duper mechanical.
yeah, it was. So
Working.
Some say he's more machine now than man.
twisted and evil. So like that works. That Luke, because of his lineage, you know, has a propensity to learn these skills quicker, right? So there's a plot device there that explains why these guys are too old to begin the training.
Yeah.
Can be trained. And remember, Anakin was 8 when he was too old to begin the training. Luke is 16 when he's too old. Rey is what, 25?
No,
She's like 20 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
she's
She's
20.
young.
She's 20.
20-ish, like
Yeah.
19 to 22.
Prefrontal cortex almost fully developed. Okay. You know what I mean? So I mean, she's definitely too old to begin the training. Now, regardless if she was rough and tough, tumble, you know, swinging the staff with 2 people who were paying attention to Finn, and she got the best on him.
It just establishes she can fight,
Well, it established she could hit somebody.
and there's technique. It's
know?
not like it's just like a child with a bat. It's
I would venture to say that if I gave you that bow staff in the situation, that you could probably do as good a job as
I don't
her.
know. I feel like if it was Luke, you wouldn't make that argument. I feel like no, he can fight.
No, I would be. I'm going to say this right now. I'd be surprised if Luke Skywalker
Poor choreography
formed-
from the 80s and 70s doesn't mean Luke didn't know how to use his lightsaber. I mean, they just didn't know what they were doing.
I don't think I would say if I think that's a poor example. My opinion with Episode 5, Luke fighting, is that Vader was trying to test him to see how powerful he was. He was toying with him the whole time like a fucking cat with a mouse. At any time, he could have fucking just choke slammed the fuck out of him.
I agree.
And Luke really didn't have any skill set when it came to that. I think later, you know, Jedi Luke.
See, I
you know,
disagree with that. Like he's obviously
Jedi-
he's obviously has form, and
No, I think he does have some skill set. He does have skill set.
Choreography to make
Yeah.
the movie, but I mean, if we're taking everything so literal, like sometimes I get frustrated, not necessarily with you or with anyone, but with people and having the sequel conversation when they don't apply the same rules.
Luke is a green belt. He knows just enough to get his ass kicked by somebody who knows what they're doing.
I don't get that impression. Not from
In
Empire. not in that fight.
All I can say is George Lucas made the trilogies, and they obviously made training in the Jedi Order very important. Something that I think he couldn't do in 4, 5, or 6. Well, because they were gone. So he makes these movies 22 decades after to show how important training is. Everyone's talking about training and training and training. No Jedi can just figure out how to do stuff. Luke doesn't know how to do anything for the longest time. He always needs someone there. And then Rey comes along and
he uses
Jedi
the
mind
Force
trick.
at the end of the movie to blow up the Death Star.
Yeah, but he's
that's
also a Skywalker.
Yeah, and he's shooting
Okay,
womp
so what did I
rats
say?
and-
What if she's a
And I said
Skywalker?
that would make it better.
Yeah, but it's like it's
And you said, why does that rule apply? And that's what I kind of got into that thing about, because we've established these certain mechanics that can bend the rules of the universe. That's what makes Luke special.
and
That's what makes
also,
Anakin special.
Vader's not toying with him at the end in that battle.
No,
Vader's
I think
two-handed, and Luke holds his own.
I think he taps
for a
into
bit.
it. He taps into it.
See, you know what I mean? It's just.
But I mean, that's the thing about it. Because Luke is a Skywalker, and he had
I hear you, and
the
I'm saying
Force
that
in him
I'm not
is like a fucking it's like a water,
I
like
hear
a
you.
fucking water
I
hose.
agree, but I
And
also-
he taps-
I also
and
think
it's
that she might
powerful
be
and
a
whatever. And he
Skywalker.
still got his hand cut off. He still lost that fight.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what
I
I mean?
100% lost his fight, but,
Yeah.
but Vader didn't demolish him. It wasn't a one hit, one strike, you're out
He
at
literally
all.
puts his lightsaber down and just lets shit fly and hits him.
And then he starts fighting him.
yeah, but
After he wounds him,
I still
after
say
he
he's
wounds him,
toying
after
with
he,
him.
I agree. Up
Yeah.
until that point, when he knocks him in with the flying shit, and he knocks him in the chest, I believe, and he flies out of the window down to the ground.
Yeah.
Then when he fights him again, he's not toying. He has both hands on the saber for the first time
and
ever.
He gets cut. I mean, Vader gets cut. Yeah. So
Exactly.
So Luke
Exactly.
injures him. 'Cause
Exactly.
He's like, yeah. Yeah. So, but again, Luke is whatever quarter Force, or he's very, very strong, and I still say he has some training. So you're not like surprised that.
And I think I'm
he's
being
doing
consistent.
this.
Back to what my original premise is that they need something to explain why she also break. We know why Anakin and we know why Luke break the rules.
So if we use the mechanics of the movie, what if she just has more midichlorians than your average?
Then we have to explain that. You know,
Would that be enough?
maybe,
Because that sounds like
Maybe.
trash to me.
maybe.
I'll be
I mean, I
honest.
don't like midichlorians.
No, me neither.
You know, but
The whole
it's
thing's trash. So it doesn't really matter what they do. It's never going to be a proper explanation. It's just not going to be. And this is a podcast or a discussion for another time, because you're like asking, what can be done? What can be done? I mean, quite honestly, nothing. Nothing can be done
To satisfy everybody.
To satisfy everyone or me at all. I mean, even if they said that she was Anakin reincarnated, and you and I have talked about this, that's the only feasible thing I can think of. It's still going to just be like, there's so many plot holes in the entire story. So nothing's going to make her powers, valid to me. And nothing is going to do it.
I mean, the one thing about that, like she, anything mechanical that she touches, she's on it. She can speak Wookiee. She can speak BB-8. Like there's
just
there's
like
little,
Anakin.
there's little things in there that like that makes her interesting. Like those little things make her interesting to me. That like I think a lot of people blow over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I called out that Wookiee shit. Like
You did.
because I think
She knew about the Falcon.
and I think because it's not her first time in it.
Was Vader ever in the Falcon?
He sees it on Hoth because he's like walking up to it. But
Yeah, I don't think he ever-
gets in it.
I mean, he could be familiar with that line of ships too. I mean, he knew how to fly everything.
Brilliant freighter or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You got the book. You got the specs, man.
I do.
Bring
I
out the
do.
spec.
Bring out the
Maybe
specs.
he had that book.
Yeah, maybe he did.
The Haynes manual.
So yeah, I didn't get that. So explain that whole thing.
It's a car. Haynes manuals are for like cars. How to take them apart. It's a blueprint. How to take every single piece apart. So it's like a joke because
Yeah.
they're like
That's fucking cool though.
Yeah, it is
it's
cool.
cool.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, no, I have no fucking idea about cars.
so-
and I got a CDL. Joke's on you, government.
And what was the little thing you do at the end? And you check if it's crack
oh,
broken.
crack, broken, damaged, or loose. That's all you gotta say. You're like, I step up to the car, make sure it's not crack, broken, damaged, or loose, and then I turn. You turn the key clockwise.
Making sure the ignition box is not cracked, broken, damaged, or loose. So I don't know, man. Like, and we'll see.
we're gonna have to have a conversation about that. I think we need to have like a setup.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch the movies because I don't really like the new movies. I've only seen them twice. I've only seen the second one once and a quarter, and I've only seen the first one twice. So, you know, I don't know.
Did you like Solo or?
I like them. I liked Solo actually, and I did like Rogue One, but I've only seen Solo twice. I've only seen Rogue One once. I did not go to the theater. I mean, they're not they're not special to me.
Not my Star
No, they're not.
Wars.
They're not special to me, and that's fine. You know, I know you like them a lot and stuff like that. Other people love them.
I'm not crazy about Solo. Like,
I like Solo more than him.
yeah.
I
Well,
like Solo more than Rogue One.
I think there is like, and this conversation
Fun
goes,
romp.
This conversation probably goes way off course, but like I think there is an element where, just like the Emperor laugh, you're like, what are you bringing me back? What are you doing? You know, you don't fuck it up, but at the same point, at the same point, you have my attention, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not that way.
Yeah,
I
my
think there is a
curiosity,
part
now
of
you
the
have my
nostalgia element of Star Wars that's much more important to you, whereas with me, I want to see it go new places. So
No,
like,
I think these new ones are only nostalgia.
so
I mean, a lot of it.
So I think that 7 is,
Yeah.
but I don't think that 8 is.
Yoda coming back. I mean,
We're having two separate conversations. It's not that it doesn't have nostalgic elements. It has Luke Skywalker in it. It has to have nostalgic elements. But I think that it does new things. Force projection, the way that Luke acts about the Force, that's all new.
Yeah.
So like that to me is more interesting than say 7, which although I enjoy,
I think that's
is
dumb. I think that Luke being just not wanting to do, not being, you know, all of this just leading up to Luke being the new way, the new Master Jedi, and all of a sudden he's just this crippled old hermit. I just think that's bad writing.
To me,
not about nostalgia. It's just a bad.
See, to me, it's the only way that makes Luke forgivable. Because if he was still in touch with the Force and Ultimate Jedi Master, and he wasn't there to save Han, I'm on some fuck Luke shit.
But that's the whole thing. He should have been. That's why.
That's
the whole thing.
But see, that's a
Seven's
different.
bad.
That's a different
bad.
conversation.
You're absolutely
And like,
absolutely.
because I ultimately have more issues with 7 than I do with 8.
I'm actually coming around. Like I'm coming around. I think that I gave 7 a pass because of the nostalgia stuff, and it's like, dude, we're getting new Star Wars. This can't be bad. You know, there's no way that this can be bad. You know, and I think I've always made it clear I never liked the fact that Han died. I get the more and more I think about it, I get more and more angry because, like, listen, I love Harrison Ford. He's like one of my fucking childhood heroes.
Correct.
You know, and like it does piss me off that it's like, you know, Harrison, you're a great actor. You're one of my childhood heroes, but stop being such an arrogant fuck. You know what I mean?
He doesn't want to do it.
But
The young technology.
then don't do it. Then don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Then don't
kill Han off.
have Han fucking retired someplace.
But if that's
it's
the
like
case, I'd rather them just skip 100 years in the future.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know
I'm
what
with
I'm
you.
saying?
You know, and the thing is that like now I go back to it and it's like they wanted to get the big names. They wanted to get the big 3 back on it. And what the fuck's happened with it? You got Harrison fucking, I'm going to do it my way forward. He's like, I'm not doing shit unless he dies. Because I've been wanting him to die since the first one because I looked down on this shit.
Third one.
You know what I mean?
He wanted to die.
Didn't he want him to die at the end of
Empire.
He got tired of doing the character.
Yeah.
So flat, whatever you want to call it.
Well, he also
got
thought
tired
that
of it.
the character saw
his arc in the first film. The first film.
Yes,
Yeah.
but so that's why it made sense for him to die in the second.
Yeah. So he's been trying to kill him for 30 years. So he's like this. He dies. So they had to work around his fucking demand.
And the fact that the actor had a
Exactly.
say in the story is a huge deal, and that just shows you
it's
the
also
problem
very
of it.
common.
It doesn't matter if it's common; it's wrong.
But I mean, like we act like that's not like there's plenty of movies where that happens.
Yeah, but that's
but
wrong.
We're only picking this apart because we know it. Like
because I love it. I mean, I love it, and no actor should have a say in any stories.
What if it's made it better?
It didn't?
We don't know that.
It didn't, Bobby.
We don't know. I mean, no, I'm saying in any movie ever.
You're getting into
What about
an entire
what about
thing.
Han being around? And you think Han being around in Episode 6 made Episode 6 better? I'm
Mark
just asking.
Hamill's getting tired of playing, or Carrie Fisher getting tired of playing Leia. Mark Hamill getting tired of playing Luke. It doesn't matter if an actor gets tired of playing a character, you recast it. You don't change the story.
You can't recast it.
Oh, you do a different story.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, now I'm okay with that, but
do a
but
story.
Or you make a young
but you
version or
can't- but you-
CGI version.
But you can't,
which we can do.
No, you can do that if Harrison Ford hasn't signed on for it. You can't do that. What I want to say
He has rights to his own character.
to his likeness.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks.
Now, in '77, which is when he signed on, because now I'm not sure if that's the case because they've altered contracts and shit for actors now. Like
I have to look that
Jen
up.
Urso, Felicity, whatever her name is, like she signed on for a 3-movie deal.
So they can use their likeness in 3 movies?
Correct.
Wow.
I know the original guy who played Obi-Wan, you can't use his voice. There's
Correct.
A bunch of
But
But they
stuff
can use
with
his
him.
face.
They can use his face.
Yeah.
There you
They
go.
bought the rights to his digital image.
Yeah, that was like,
Yeah.
but they had to buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like he didn't. It wasn't an initial contract.
Well, let me finish one.
Harris Ford's
Let
all
me
about
finish
this money,
what
so they
I
can
had to say. Like so, like I am less mad at the choices made in The Last Jedi because I do feel like, damn, what the fuck could they done? You know what I mean? Like so Luke wanted to leave, but he left people a map. You know what I mean?
It's
like that whole trope.
I don't even think we should talk about this anymore. No, because we have to. I think we have. You've talked about this before. Like, I know you're a huge fan of them.
What?
Of the new trilogy?
That's not true.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
huge fan of 8,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge fan of Rogue One.
Okay. Well,
7.
I'm not I'm not trying to say that's bad.
7
I have
is
so
fine.
many problems that I want to talk to someone who liked them,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like them, and they don't. I don't hate them either. And someone who I play Battlefront, and you're on group chats with people, and people love it. I'm like, if you love it, you love it. I'm not going to sit here and tell
If
you
you love it,
you're
you win.
dumb because
Say that all the time.
Yeah, if you're dumb because you love it. But let me tell you why I think this part's dumb or this part's dumb. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But there's tons of things that I love that people don't like. People don't even like Star Wars. They're like, oh, you like Star Wars? Like, you're an idiot. But I'm saying, like, I would love to have a conversation.
I mean, I think that's true with anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So when it sounds like I'm attacking you, I really am.
I don't
I'm just
feel
like,
attacked.
I'm just like,
I don't feel
I
attacked.
do want to have like a real conversation to break down because I told Adam, like, I want to take notes because I need to rewatch the movies because they're that painful where I can't even remember everything. To me, they were to me, and I want to just write everything down and just be like, help me explain this because maybe I'll like it better. Maybe I'll be more interested in Star Wars because every time, I just like the new movies coming out, I'm just like, I guarantee you, like, if I go see it first day, it'll only be because I don't want to see anything about it on social media to ruin it for me. That would be the only reason I would see it first day.
I mean, I'm definitely going to go see it first day.
Yeah, I will only for that reason. That's all I'm saying. But no, I think I need to have like a fleshed out conversation with someone who has arguments against certain things. And
What if you
figure
hate it?
out.
What if I love it?
That's always a question. Isn't it?
Like, what do you like? What? How is that?
I'm
dynamic?
afraid that that's going to be Endgame.
Oh, you're gonna hate it. I'm gonna love it.
Well, they
I'm
said it's the
afraid.
end of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, yeah.
So, which kind of sucks. It's kind of sad.
I don't
I
know,
think
man.
it's the end of the saga films.
It's the end of. I think it's the end of the Skywalker story.
But that's what.
Yeah.
But it's called Rise of Skywalker. But it's the end of the Skywalker. It's just that's
I think
contradicting.
they're
right
gonna,
there.
they're gonna call
Skywalker's-
Jet. It's gonna be the new word for Jedi.
I know. I heard that too.
Yeah, I think Skywalker's going to be the.
Do
word.
we like that?
I hate it.
I think it's too long.
I don't know. I don't know because I
But
don't.
you can't call them walkers.
Dude, that's Patreon. That's a Patreon conversation. For those nerd rage fans, check last week's episode on Patreon, and then check last week's episode on iTunes, and just know that we have a Patreon episode coming to explain that because they're different. And I don't mean listen. Just have a look, a peek.
Peak.
Behind
the scenes.
the tip.
But let's wrap it up. Anytime you want to have that, Aaron, while you're in town, or
He's only got one
I only
A,
have one A.
oh fuck, that's right.
like Elvis.
Elvis's middle name, Aaron.
All right, fine, Aaron. So if I'm up for it. If you want to watch them, I'll watch them with you, and then we can have a conversation.
Actually, I think that's what we should do.
We can have a conversation right after.
Yeah.
Like, come over.
I think we should, watch
Yeah.
scenes, pause it, and then just debate. Or not debate, discuss.
No, hopefully discuss. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like even if you wanted to like watch one, pause it, come in, and just do one episode on one film.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be great. I'm up
All
for
right,
that.
I'm
up
totally
for
up
that.
for that.
100%. Dude, congratulations to you for not doing heroin because it's a fucking it's an epidemic.
Not even once.
Just like me and rape. Not even once. Never tried it. Ever. I heard the game's changed.
You explain that statement to him.
So it's like,
He's like, did you tell Bobby I was doing drugs or something?
no,
now?
my brother's doing heroin.
Well, you said he was getting high
yeah, I
again,
thought-
so I
yeah,
figured
yeah,
it was
yeah,
something
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
meth, heroin,
Yeah,
they're all bad. So
I mean, he's been
didn't
doing
ask.
heroin since 1999, to be quite honst.
No, I think 2003.
How did you even get into injecting? How? I don't
Was
understand.
he
it.
smoking it first?
I would
Smoking it-
imagine that's where it starts.
I
Yeah.
can see.
and then I would
okay.
imagine it's just like anything else, like it just don't hit right anymore, And then
If someone was like, "Oh, you got to inject this, THC into your toes in order to get high. I'd be like, oh no, that's all right. I'm just gonna keep smoking it.
And that's the other problem is that like just with that is that like it's
God, drugs are so bad.
what they end up chasing. Is the same thing that makes them go from smoking to injecting. Is like it's not hitting right anymore.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get it to hit
It's-
right like it used to.
It's just like drinking. Like I'm a huge drinker and I'm trying to quit. And there's
Are you a driver and a flyer as well?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, mescaline is the only way to fly.
Solo is as well. I'm a driver, I'm a flyer.
Anywho, so no, drinking is a huge
that-
problem, and the more you drink,
that
the
didn't
more you
stick.
can.
Big
and-
gangster with a
and-
big crew. It did for a while.
Yeah, it did for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
but honestly, and I hate to put it out there, and I'm not, and like,
no.
I saved it for Patreon, but
Would I?
it started, and somehow it became a Shattered Cast joke,
Okay.
and then I wanted to stop using it here. Like I was like, I know that sounds away. That's something we need to explore in a Patreon also.
Dude, I think we need some therapy for that.
You down for that?
I'm down for that.
All right, let's do that. But yeah, let's wrap this
I am
up.
taking off Friday.
I haven't decided. Well, I don't think I'm.
God, my nuts are numb.
But I might. But I.
Seriously, they're so massive and
But I might be down for the late night thing anyway. And just
I mean, I
chop
had
it
the
up.
family with a bit, but even if I come over first thing in the morning.
I don't know if that's going to be an option
Why?
because I work Friday.
Oh. Or do you?
Can I just say, I bet you Steve has the new one on Plex, and I have it.
Oh,
right
you
now.
probably got it already.
And I have my Plex thing in my backpack at your
Yeah,
house.
I mean it's out now. Like the shit's out now.
What's up?
I'm gonna go.
the-
I'm gonna go see
The in-game story and all that shit. It's out now.
The movie's out? Like
No,
leaks?
like the story, like the breakdown of. Like,
Oh,
like,
oh,
okay,
really?
Yeah, it's out now.
Really?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
the
but
movies,
at this
Have
point,
you looked at it?
No, because it's
At
it's
5 o'clock. We're
tomorrow.
24 hours away.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
23
go home
and a
see
half.
if it's on there. I'm not gonna watch it. But.
So shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage crew, Black Phillip, who I thought it was going to be 50-50. That was my guess.
I know. That's what I wanted you to think.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
think it was me, Aaron?
50-50.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
only
think-
because you had mentioned it recently that he might be coming around.
Oh,
and then we're
okay,
trying to
yeah,
get him on
yeah,
the show.
yeah.
Maryland Phil on Twitter, Raul on Instagram, and shout out to Manny. And we might be adding somebody else in our race team soon, but we'll talk about that at another time.
And he hit me up today. I got to go read what he sent me a long ass message.
That
Check it
dude,
out.
that dude's a shit. Of course, Joe KW and Chris, who couldn't be here today.
Who?
You wouldn't know him. He's from Minnesota.
Oh, Alabama.
And Dante, who holds down our Facebook, and he'll be at Endgame tomorrow. And then shout out to the rest of the Cool Table, Shattercast, End of the Realm, Beer and Bolters, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Building Up to It, Fresh Communications, Toy Detox, Breaking the Mold, and Verbally Challenged. And with that,
Great tits.
Lactating anus.
Tight Dick Player.